going to give, people a couple minutes to kind of jump on and hop on. In the meantime, you know what we normally do at the beginning of the live stream? We chat about our lives and our days. Um, let's talk a little bit about our costumes a little bit. I'm dressed as like me. I've got my new hoodie. I went to this store in Salem called Die With Your Boots On. It's an amazing store. If you guys ever head up to Salem, definitely check it out.
Cool.
What about you, Josh?
Yeah, I got my good old Naruto headband, so I'm a ninja today. It's very reflective, but you can kind of see
I knew immediately like what it was when I
what it
saw
was.
it. Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Well, and
the hidden leaf symbol.
here's why is
Little did you know, Josh.
never okay, so
Yeah,
never look back is 10 years old, which is like mind blowing. Um when we were like filming that, right? Like 10, 12 years ago, like I worked at Hot Topic and we sold those headbands.
yeah,
So like and we sold the shit out of them. Like
yeah.
so I was like, "Oh yeah, that's that headband."
That's I'm pretty sure. I think I either ordered it from Hot Topic or Box Lunch,
Nice.
one which they're like
Nice.
the same. Yeah,
Yeah.
but
Dude,
yeah. I mean, it's crazy. I'm late to the party with Naruto, so I'm all like hyped on it now, which people still are. But it's been going on for a long, like, yeah, 10 years.
yeah,
So
dude.
yeah,
Probably even longer.
yeah, oh yeah. But yes, that's cool. I actually have two of them. I'm not gonna lie. I got another one.
Oh man.
It's like a different. It's like I'm not gonna get into the lore, but it's another headband from a different.
Is it like an orange one or
No,
no?
it's like black, and it actually has this symbol, and it has like a line through it. It's like the
Ooh.
Akatsuki. Yeah, it's cool though. I was debating on which one to wear, but I figured I'd wear
I think this one
Naruto.
looks cool. This one looks
Yeah,
cool. And is that your
thanks.
hair?
Yeah, this is my hair. Yeah, my hair is getting pretty long. I was hoping to be long enough to like go completely over,
Ah, I love it. Yes.
but yeah,
Love it, love it.
yeah.
So we got a couple people watching. All you guys on the multi-stream, watching all over YouTube, Twitch, Facebook. Let us know where you're from. Give us a little shout out. Let us know that you're here watching with us. I right now what we're gonna do, we're celebrating 10 years of Never Look Back. We're gonna actually watch the video with you guys, live react to it, and share some memories of just like over the years and especially the making of the video. Um, so if you want to share like your like, hey, this is how I found out about the video, or like a lot of people found out about us online. So just wanted to say that real quick. Steve, tell us a little bit about your costume.
Yeah,
I mean, I'm not really in
I was
costume.
still making all the everything live on YouTube, and yeah, so let's um being that it's 10 years of Never Look Back, I want as many people to live react with us. So yeah, I'll talk about my costume, and let's go ahead and do the intros too. Talk about our weeks, just give people time to get in
Yeah,
here.
yeah, yeah.
I don't want to leave anybody behind. I know there's some people in Discord who are still making their way home from work and whatnot, but I'm
Making
not
my way
wearing all of
downtown.
my costume except for the ladies glove.
Yes.
But
Hey,
Put your mask on. It looks dope.
yeah, I just can't drink my drink or do any, and then I'm kind of muffled like Bane wise. But for all our nerd friends out there, I'm doing Bucky Barnes. I'm doing this weird like hodgepodge of Bucky because I wanted to do Bucky from the new show, The Falcon and the Winter Soldier, because he's the good guy at this point, and he cut all his hair off and is pretty similar to like the length of my hair, so it's just the easiest to do. But unfortunately, I wasn't able to get the jacket in time, and his arm now is made out of vibranium in that series, and it's like black and gold, and so it's like the things that I've been able to acquire are more Winter Soldier from when he was a bad guy. So it's gonna be more of like I'm gonna have his metallic arm and his mask from when he was the villain, but his haircut and his just day to day leather jacket of when he's the good guy. It's gonna be a weird mix of Winter Soldier and Bucky Barnes, but I always like every year when I do Halloween, it's for me it's an excuse to cosplay. It's like I don't buy something from the store. It's like I got to put it together myself through things I find at the thrift store or find online, and so the
Yeah.
only thing I'm wearing now is my robotic arm that I made with a lady's glove. It's like a ballroom, should fit all silver, like it only goes this far. So like when I'm wearing my leather jacket, it will look like my whole arm is metal. But yeah, so I've been working on that, and the only reason I ended up doing it because it was like weirdly recently, like I would say in the past 6 months, I like posted some photos that we've done for either the band or I've done for solo stuff, and had like some friends comment and be like, "You kind of look like Bucky Barnes, whatever." And then I went out. There was 2 times when I went out, and I'd be at one was like a complete stranger, and the other time I got introduced to a friend of a friend, someone I had never met, and somebody made the comment. They're like, "You look like Bucky Barnes." I'm like, okay. And so I like looked up the pictures, and I was like, okay, I guess I can see a slight resemblance. So I was like, people keep saying it, maybe it will be an easy costume to pull off.
I can see the similarities for sure.
He's more like serious most of the time though, so I should just walk around like this all the time.
Yeah, there you go. That's perfect.
Now you look like him a lot.
Yeah.
So Jerry from Huntsville, Alabama said that they found us by chance on Facebook and saw us play at the Copper Top, I guess in Huntsville years ago. I don't remember that bar. But they have a Jurassic Zombie t-shirt. So like there definitely was a show where you said there was, because you bought a t-shirt there. And the Jurassic Zombie, that's not like so cool memory.
No, that was an early tour.
Probably.
I wonder if it was with City of the Week or something. I feel like we've only been to Huntsville once.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. That sounds right. We've been
Which
to other places in Alabama.
City.
What's that Elephant Room place? Where was that? That's in Arkansas. That's a pretty cool little, like, teenage kind of hangout place.
Was that the one where everybody's like spinning fire and like
no,
the hippie place
dude,
in the
that
mountains?
place was that place was awesome. It'll come to me. I feel like that place was like in Ohio or Virginia or some place like that. Maybe North or South Carolina, somewhere like over there.
Okay.
Death Fears None asked if anyone has been playing Kena Bridge of Spirits yet. Not yet.
No, that's a PlayStation game. I hear it's pretty good. I honestly haven't turned on my PlayStation in forever because Game Pass has so many free games that
Dude,
it's like...
though, what kind of game is this Kena Bridge of Spirits? Because Jordan and I just got an OLED TV, which is like sickening. And
it would definitely take advantage for sure.
Is that
it's
like
very
a
bright
game?
and colorful. Like to me, the gameplay almost looks like Pikmin or something. If the person in the chat can correct me, but it looks like you're this girl. Yeah, it's sort of like anime or Japanese influenced cartoon, and you're like this girl, and you command these little creatures and make them do things for you. At least that's what I picked up from the
sweet
trailer. But yeah, they can definitely
I'm looking for something to like take advantage of the OLED, because dude, even Animal Crossing was just like, whoa, like so much detail, even my little Animal Crossing. So I'm just like, oh, I can't wait, like just to like christen it with like something really amazing. And I was thinking about restarting Fallout maybe and just like experiencing it like that.
It'll be crisper. A lot of those older games, it's almost like when you watch like since the new Ghostbusters is coming up, I was listening to my favorite podcast doing Ghostbusters in review and going through the older movies. But it's kind of like when you watch a movie of that era in
HD
4K
or whatever,
you can like see every backdrop painting that's like a painting and not real life. It's like it really shows the flaws, and I feel like that's kind of how like when I somehow use connectors and stuff to boot up like my N64 games on like a 4K TV. It's just like the crispness, like it's almost like a lot of the old movies and old games, you still need the CRT TV to make it like look good. But at least Fallout's not that old. But talking about, why don't you tell everybody about the TV and stuff, and you tell us about your past week or so first. You go first.
Oh, me?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, yeah, the TV was a thing. Also Jordan and I went to Salem. Like I already gave a little shout out to Die With Your Boots On, where I got this sweet hoodie. And just like did shop. It was crazy. If y'all have ever been to Salem, and it was just insane. There was like 500,000 people in the city, and it's normally kind of a sleepy town. Like Jordan and I don't live that far away. We can usually drive there in like 2 hours. It took us forever to get there, forever to park, an hour to drive around for parking, an hour to wait for dinner. Like it was just crazy. And we were just, there's this awesome comic shop there, and we got some really sick Pokemon. And yeah, that was fun. And I dressed up as Galadriel from Lord of the Rings, and Jordan was Frodo. I don't want to disappoint everyone, but we literally took no photographs. Like I'll put the costume on again and like take pictures in it or something, but like I looked so good. I loved my costume. Like
I saw you on Instagram, but I didn't see Jordan.
We didn't take any pictures. It was just like chaos. The whole scene was just chaos. There was no time to sit and be like, let's take a picture. Like a couple people asked us to like take pictures with them, which is another fun part about Salem, is that if you have a really dope costume, people like want to take pictures with you. I would assume, I've never been to a Comic-Con or something, but I would assume it's kind of like that. Like not everybody dresses up, but the people that do, if they're good, you know, get a picture with them, you like start talking to them, stuff like that.
Yeah, for sure.
It was just wild. It was so much fun. There's so much that goes on in Salem. It's like, it's, you know, if you have never been, or if you're, just go. And then a couple days before that, we had driven down to Burlington, Vermont, and that was the first time going there, and just like leaf peeping, just looking at the fall leaves and the colors, and you know,
That's
doing
awesome.
that kind of stuff.
Leaf peeping.
Oh my God. But Burlington is a really cute town. I got this like cool t-shirt from this like woman owned business that was like support women, you know, support women in business. Lots of like vegan, vegetarian type places, and like super cute little town, but like, man, is it in the middle of nowhere. Like Salem is at least like hour away from Boston, maybe. Burlington is just like, it's near Montreal. Like it's like up there. And okay, we were very disappointed because it's near like Ben and Jerry's factory is there, and also the Cabot cheese factory is there. So if you are fans of either of those two products, they were both closed. Thank you, COVID.
Oh.
Thanks, COVID.
That's terrible.
Because they do like factory tours, but because of COVID, they're just like, we don't do that anymore. And then we didn't really realize that until we were up there, and we were just like, well, shit. Now what do we do?
Damn.
But it was awesome. It was a lot of fun.
It sounds fun. It'd be nice to get out.
It's awesome.
I just want to give, before we move on to the next person, want to shout out Tommy. And also Death Fears None said City of the Week is awesome. And Doug, Hungry Tortoise. Hey to Doug, thank you for the sub. And Carlos is doing good and eating pumpkin pie. I'm super jealous. So
Wow.
jealous of the pumpkin pie.
We got Natty Attack up on YouTube. Pop it in.
Yay. Hey, Natty. How's it going? We got some people.
And more to come. So while they're logging in, Josh, tell us about your week.
Yeah.
Or a couple of weeks.
Yeah, I guess we didn't do a stream last week, so
And
that
you had
week,
a birthday, right?
Yeah.
Ayo.
That was my birthday weekend.
Everybody say happy birthday to Josh. He's 23 now.
Yep. 23.
No.
Yeah.
We're all
that was
permanently 23.
Yeah. Every year we turn 23.
Every year we turn 23 because nobody
Yeah.
likes you when you're 23.
Exactly.
Dude, and after you talk about this, can we talk about Travis Barker getting engaged?
Oh, the engagement, yeah.
Can we just like spend 5 seconds to talk about that, because I don't even know what to believe.
I know. I don't know what to
I don't know how to
think.
feel. All right, go on.
Yeah, so on my birthday, the Steelers played. I'm a Steeler fan, being from Pittsburgh, and we got tickets.
And the chat just blew up with haters.
I know. I know. We got tickets for the Sunday night game, so it was cool. That's what we did. Just me and my family, group of people. We like tailgated. I've never tailgated before, so that was cool. Definitely got a little schwasty.
Should you get in your green man suit and start tripping out in a garbage can?
I did basically. But
What's
yeah.
that story? Hold on.
We'll get to it on my turn.
I mean, that's an Always Sunny reference for sure. But
Okay,
Yeah.
sorry.
Yeah.
I was like, I don't remember that. I have other birthday memories.
Charlie. No, but
I have other birthday memories of Josh. They don't involve that.
Yeah. And I love
Right.
so I do gotta mention I love Jordan sent me he always I think he does this every
year.
every birthday. He sends me a pic of that night and he's like never forget. Yeah, it was good times. But yeah, so that was fun. Went to the game. They won, so it was on a plus. They went into overtime, so it was like crazy. And they ended up winning. It would have really sucked if they would have lost. But so yeah, that was good. And then this last weekend I went to see Angels and Airwaves came through stage AE.
Nice.
So yeah, so that was really cool being there, like looking at this, like we were on that stage, like knowing where they were in the back. Like I took mental images of everything being there, like I knew where the green room was. But yeah, so that was really cool. They were good. Tom sounded good, because sometimes he can sound not that good, but he sounded good and it was fun. They definitely talked about aliens there for a second, so it came for that. Yeah.
Aliens and airwaves.
Yeah. But yeah, that's it was fun. It was a fun packed couple weeks. So yeah.
Nice.
We're gonna be on the whole time. I was just like, we're gonna be on that stage again. I can't wait. Because that was a good venue. That was a good place to be.
Announcement: Nearly Deads will be playing Stage AE next year.
Yes, absolutely.
Let's not reveal any dates.
Yeah. Well, yeah, and
we're really bad at like giving time frames and then having to be like, never mind.
Yeah, never mind. Sorry. No,
yeah.
man. We're gonna manifest
we're not actually
that
a band
shit
anymore.
We're manifesting.
In the future, we will be playing Stage AE.
Yeah, dude. For sure.
Yeah. And I want to thank everybody for the happy birthdays.
Yeah, we got lots of happy birthdays in the comments.
Is also 23, Josh.
Wow, that's awesome.
You both are 23. And
I'm 23.
Dr. Koga, first time chat person, first time hanging out with us over on Twitch.
Nice.
Thanks for hanging out. So the reason I was like, wait for mine. So my couple of weeks have been pretty straightforward, just like working a lot, always doing music projects. I finished a score that I had been putting off and not feeling any sort of inspiration for, but finally something kind of popped and I was like, okay, I figured this out. Check that off the list, do some Nearly Dead stuff, do some solo stuff, work, do those kind of things, hang out with friends. I've been jumping back and forth between Far Cry and the new Metroid game, and like the Metroid's my kind of lay in bed playing on my Switch. TJ got the LED TV, which is way more badass, but I upgraded to the OLED Switch or SWOLED, if you want to call it.
That's awesome.
Yes.
So it does look prettier for sure, and it's nice because when I go to bed at night, like I haven't bought a TV for my room and I probably won't. So I just prop my Switch up on the bedside table and I watch Hulu like as I'm going to bed on my Switch, and the screen does make a difference. It definitely looks a lot better. So it's sort of a little upgrade. But that being said, I've like the past couple of weeks kind of rediscovered things that I like. One is from nostalgically. Well, two things. Tommy will know because when we went to the movies to see Free Guys 2 or 3 weeks ago, I got some Reese's Pieces, and I'm just like, I forget how much I like Reese's Pieces. Like the cups are always good, but the like Pieces candy. So it's like now I gotta have some. I got some in my pantry, but I went to Kroger one day to get groceries, and I walked down this one aisle. I had to get something, and I walked by Pepperidge Farm, and I saw the whole thing of goldfish. I was like, I'm getting
Oh,
some
yeah.
goldfish. And so I've like
Goldfish.
rediscovered my love for goldfish. So I'm
Oh.
like, here I am in my 30s, just like packing it. It's like
No,
the
dude.
Parmesan is
Dude.
my go-to.
No.
Goldfish are so good,
It's
man.
so good. And they're like healthy for you. They're like whole grain.
They're baked.
They're
Right.
baked.
And every
They're
time I
baked.
eat them, in my head, I'm like, I like fishes because they're so delicious. But I also rediscovered, so like I said, when I go to bed I like watch TV, but a lot of times it's like I just pick old shows that I don't need to focus on because it's like it's me passing out, like, so I eventually pass out. And like, so I've been like rewatching Sunny and just like going through all the seasons. It's just, God, I forget how hilarious that show is, how good it is. It's just so fantastic. Like, and Frank, God, like Danny DeVito is a gift from the heavens. Like, I love the whole, like, they're trying to get Charlie's drawings in an art gallery, and so Frank becomes the art critic. Ongo something.
When he
He's got
has
the
that
white
wig. Yeah.
and he looks like Sia, and he's like, hello, and he's like, garbage. Ooh, I love that. And she's like, the air move is like a space heater or something. He's like, yes, it's so avant-garde or something. That, or like the one that hits from his perspective, it's like a point of view thing where it's going, the gang's got their normal like kind of hijinks or something, and he's trying to remember what to do and go do all the plan, but the Bill Ponderosa guy's picking him up, and he's like wasted and like pulling up in his car, and he's like, hey, you want to pop these pills? No.
Yeah.
Cool, all right, I'll do so. And he slings, and Frank's just like, Pondy's the coolest. And so it's like, that's like been my go-to quote, is Pondy's the coolest. Josh is the coolest.
Oh, dude,
yeah,
that show's
so
so great. That's awesome.
So yeah, you know, the past 2 weeks I rediscovered my love for It's Always Sunny.
That just on a side note, I've in the last like 2 weeks I've been rewatching. I've been rewatching the Nolan Batmans. I don't know. I just had like a craving to. Yeah. So I did like Batman Begins and The Dark Knight. Now I'm on The Dark Knight Rises. So I got to finish that. But they're so good. Like, it's weird that it's been like years now. Like, I remember when that was like.
That's older. It's older than Never Look Back.
Yeah.
Doesn't it? Like, that's kind of a good segue, I guess, because I feel like I'm thinking of all, like, what was I doing 10 years ago? And also being in this band, but I'm like, oh man, that movie, I remember when The Dark Knight came out. It was definitely before we formed this band.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because even further back, like, you've been rewatching those, I'm getting all hyped because since the new Spider-Man's coming out at the end of the year, that podcast I listen to has been rewatching all the Sony Spider-Verse. And so they've gone through the Sam Raimi ones, and I've been listening to, we're on number 2 now.
Yeah.
It makes me want to rewatch this, but the first Spider-Man came out in 2002.
Yeah, that's crazy.
And Spider-Man 2 was 2004, so I was a senior in middle school. I was a senior in middle school in 2004.
Yeah.
No, but it,
age there.
It doesn't, like, first and foremost, I have to say that I'm extremely proud of us, and I'm extremely proud that this band has stand the test of time, right? Like, a lot of bands, how many bands did we gig with or play with or whatever that definitely were not together for this long? So yeah, first and foremost, I'm on board with that. And then it's like thinking about I think I lost my train of thought, but anyway.
Okay, well, why don't we do this real quick? Josh mentioned coffee earlier, and I remembered I have coffee, so I want to go grab my coffee and just warm it up real quick. So while I'm doing this, why don't you two talk Travis Barker?
Okay.
Oh, jeez.
Dude, okay. So do strangers that I've never met just completely deserve to be happy? Like, yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
But I've been through enough. We've all been through enough in our lives to just see some red flags.
Yeah,
Like, like it's a
I'm
little.
just not here for it. It's weird. It seems oddly immature. I don't know. I don't even know what to think, you know.
They
I
haven't even
mean,
been together for a year. Now, if this was your
no.
buddy, you'd be like, bro,
Yeah, exactly.
maybe. But they've known each other for a really long time, I think. So I
Mm,
saw an article where Shayna was like commenting on it because, like, you know, the mother of his children. So it's
yeah.
like the weirdest, like, it's just the weirdest thing. And she's like, she'll say, oh, yeah, he did that with me. He did that with me. Like, it's, I don't
Oh,
know.
she's said that.
Yeah. Like there was some
Wow.
stuff that he's done for Courtney, I guess, that she's like, yeah, he did that for me at one point too. So it's like, I mean,
Yeah.
do guys do that? Do they like recycle the same like boss moves?
I don't know.
Like if you
I
gave
don't.
somebody like a really boss like birthday present, do you like do it again and again and again? I don't know.
I don't know. I mean, I never have, but like maybe at that status, like when you can really just do, you can pretty much buy anything. I don't know.
Yeah,
Like,
I don't know. Like, it must be so odd to be a celebrity and just be like,
yeah,
that's your life, and everything, every little thing that you do is scrutinized and whatever. So it's like, I don't really, I mean, there's no way I can actually physically care. I
yeah,
don't know them. I don't care. Like, and I'm sure they're very happy, but like, it,
yeah.
who,
No,
you know,
definitely. Like I'm happy for him, but it's just it's a little like how you kind of mentioned on one of the earlier streams. I don't know, just seeming kind of like high school child, like when the pictures of like him and Machine Gun Kelly and they're just like all making out.
they're just like
It's just weird.
tongue deep in each other's
Yeah,
faces. And I'm just like, that is
but
so grody. Like, nobody is like that, really.
yeah, no, and really all his posts have just been that way. It's very much like
It's
I
so
don't.
easy to be like, do you think it's so easy to be like whirlwind romance when you're rich? I can whisk you away to Paris. I can blah blah blah. Like, oh, and you're only seeing the best of the best of the best of me because I'm always made up and done up. I have expensive clothes. I can treat you to. I can shower you with gifts.
Yeah,
Like, I think people like that veil must be so hard to remove from a person because
yeah,
that's all you know is like shower with love and affection, like super fast, quick, everything. And then also, you're probably not really around each other a lot.
yeah.
Like, you got jobs, you got tours, you got whatever. You probably don't even live, so you're
It's
like seeing each other for like a week. And then it's like this beautiful week in Paris where you just like go all out and da, da, da. And then, of course, you're going to feel like head over heels in love.
yeah, I guess that's a really good point. I mean, they obviously, they are busy people and do stuff all the time. So pretty much every time they get together, I'm sure it's like a first date kind of feeling.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
yeah,
And then they're like, "Well, let's get married." And it's like,
yeah.
"Okay."
I mean, yeah, I like hopefully there's something deeper there. It's hard for it not to look too superficial on the outside, but
Absolutely, yeah.
I mean,
That's a good
yeah,
way of putting it. Like, I never really superficial versus like a deep love. Like,
yeah,
um like I said, we don't know these people, so who the fuck cares, right?
yeah,
But just based on observation, the only thing I know is that I read somewhere that the family has, Travis has been friends with the family for a really long time.
oh, okay,
So he's like known them. It's not like he just like met her randomly. So I don't even want to get
yeah.
into MGK and who the fuck cares. I
Megan
really do
Fox.
not care.
Yeah, we don't. That's a whole nother.
I could care less.
Yeah,
I feel like maybe because like Travis Barker, we take some sort of like, ownership on because we're
yeah,
just such a fan of his band and his music. And he's been a part of a lot of people's lives for a really long time.
yeah.
Just as
No,
that like drummer.
yeah, absolutely. I think he inspired all of us. I mean, in some way or another, like he's been in so much stuff, and yeah, I don't know. There's just certain things he's done recently, even musically, that I'm just like, man, I
It's
don't know,
almost
but
like
I
a
can't.
money. Is it almost like a money grab to you? Because to me, that's what it feels like. Because he's
Yeah,
like, oh, I'll play drums for this person, this person, this person.
yeah.
Who cares what project it is, whatever. But hey, he's probably getting paid a ton of money to do that. So why, no
Oh,
shame.
Right.
absolutely.
Sorry it took so long. The kittens were patiently awaiting wet food, and
Did,
I
did you
may or
get?
may not have made my coffee Irish.
Hey.
Oh,
Hey, oh,
Do you guys want to dive into the video?
yeah.
Let's do it.
The main event.
The main event. Brr, brr, brr. Let me just make sure my cat is like all set because I knew she was going to do this. You can get out of the room. She's defiantly like licking herself now. Where is she? Look at her eyes. Did you guys see her eyeballs? So cute. All right.
Yeah.
Anyway. All right.
That's
So
awesome.
here's kind of how this is going to go. We want to hear what you guys want to say. And we're just going to play the video. And, you know, if our own copyright lawyers shut down our own stream because we're showing our own YouTube video, then that might happen. So if that does happen, then we're sorry in advance. Thank you to each and every one of you who have listened to us and been a part of our band for all these years. But yeah, 10 years ago, we released Never Look Back on Halloween as a baby band that no one had ever heard of. And we're still like, we're just a slightly more known band than we were back then. Nobody knows who we are still, which is great. And that's fine with us. And we do things that we love. And this video is just like meant so much to us. And it feels so good hearing every comment of people that are like, this is the best song. I love you guys. And like that just makes us feel great. And the video itself, like the first thing, it's just like, I can't believe it's been 10 years. I'm so excited and happy that it's been this long and that we're still kicking and we're still going. But like, just remember like filming it in my basement and having JK be the one that was like, so JK was our producer and our director, and he was like, we got to do the zombie music video. We got to do this. We got to do this. So like this whole thing was like 100% his brainchild. Like we have to give credit to him for like thinking of this whole idea and this theme and the plot line. Like I don't even remember like sitting down and like mapping out like here's what it's going to look like.
Right.
But it was a lot of his idea, and it was around when The Walking Dead was about to premiere. Or had premiered, maybe season 2 was about to start, and like zombies were like just in, you know, and we knew that it would be a good idea to like include zombies, and we like zombies. And I don't know, every time I watch this video, it just like floods me with memories because every single person in it is a personal friend of ours. We offered them pizza and beer to don zombie costumes and let us do zombie makeup. We had our living room was full of people, full of like all of our friends and their kids and whatever. And we were just like throwing like fake blood on people and flour or powder and like oatmeal. Do you remember that?
Yeah, you posted some pictures from it, and
Yeah.
I snapped one of them, and I texted Adam. I was like, hey,
Dude.
10 years, man.
Yeah. What did he say?
He was just like, that's wild, dude.
That's
So,
crazy.
Yeah.
Like it was all of our best friends, right? And what the little girl too, what's her
Kim.
Kim's daughter. I mean, she's like 18 now. So.
She went to like prom. I saw her post a picture of her at like
she's
prom
like
recently or
18.
something.
She's beautiful. Like she's such a beautiful little, you know, young woman. And it's just like, man, she's the little girl in the video. It's so crazy. She's like a grown person now.
Right.
Driving, going to prom. Like those are the things that make you feel like, you know, old.
We've got our own version of the Siamese dream twins, you know, like
Yes.
or the never mind baby.
Didn't we originally? Okay, so we scouted for locations, but we couldn't find one, or we were going to pay for one and something fell through. We were looking at like a jail. Like there was all kinds of, wasn't there
The
like
jail was later. We were trying to do a lot of that was later. I feel when we did Never Look Back, it was just like, where can we do this cheap? Like who's got a house, who's got a yard.
I think that we like we did a few locations, but I was like, we had lived in this place that was like, there was a big field next to it. There was no neighbors and there was a big field and all those trees. So like everywhere, like where the vans are parked, I guess we can talk about that when we get to that scene in the movie, but I was like, that's all just like next to our house. We were like next to the freeway. So there was like nothing over there. And we just like did whatever we wanted to do without caring if anybody would have had an issue with it.
Right. So do you want to So it's a live react, and we're
Okay.
gonna kind of discuss. So, do you want me to just kind of like play it, and when we're sort of ready to commentate, you can have me
Yeah.
pause, or I can kind of like pause scene by scene, or you just want to let me know when to pause it, and we can get into it.
Yeah, or you can pause it whenever, or if I'm like, hey, I want to talk about this, like we'll just pause it. Does that work?
Okay.
And Josh, chime in whenever.
Okay.
Yeah. If
Do you have
you
any
wanna-
I mean, well, yeah.
like things to say before we get into it? Because Josh, we love you, but we know that you were not a part of the band yet. So the drummer in this video is our good friend Corey, and Brandon and Kevin are in it, and unfortunately they're not in the band anymore. But we got Josh, and you're like all three of them combined.
Oh,
Mhm.
well, yeah. I was just gonna preference that, like, I'm more or less watching as a fan, really. Like so it's kind of cool, like seeing an outside perspective of, I can critique every little thing.
Hey, no, you're
No,
gonna be like continuity error.
no, I'm just joking. No, yeah, that's I'm excited. I mean, it definitely there's a nostalgia for me with it, but in a different way, of like taking me back to when I joined the band, listening to it and watching the video. So but yeah, I think
You
it'll be fun.
joined the band like not that long after though. Like you've been with us
No,
for like 7 years, so it was
yeah.
not like long. There was a few years in between. But this video literally like launched something that we never imagined, and we started getting friends and fans all over the world from this video and started getting opportunities, and it just led us down this incredible path. So, let's cue it up. Let's watch it.
What's up, Tiki Toby?
Hello, Tiki Toby. I love your
That look.
name.
That look is a look that can only happen by a roaring
Can you not?
Hey,
So,
if I let it play, we get
this
paid.
scene, this was my
No.
favorite scene.
This stream is gonna get so shut down. That's our street.
Okay, first I'm gonna pause
Oh,
on Casey here.
Casey, dude.
Well, I wanted to know Steve's thoughts on him running at the very beginning of the.
Okay, so
I'm already like
here's-
100 things to say.
so the whole jogging thing, where that came about was, so when we finally decided to do this, JK kind of, he was directing, sort of producing, but he sort of gave me a lot of freedom to storyboard the video and kind of come up with the sequence of events and the story aspect of it. So somewhere I think we may have signed it and given it away to a fan on a Kickstarter or something, but I hand drew like a little storyboard. But the idea behind the jogger was sort of a Shaun of the Dead reference thing, where it's sort of a what do you call it, a fake out, it's like the beginning, you see him yawning up close, you already think he's like a zombie, and then it pans out and he's just in his PJs on the couch and just slovenly dude. So I was like, but it'd be funny if it just looks like somebody's just strolling down a daily jog through the neighborhood, and then it pans out
And there's zombies.
all the zombies, and you can see that there's running away from the zombies. So just again, Nearly Dead's being a band who loves pop culture and movies and stuff. That's like from the get-go, it's a reference to something else.
Yeah. I think
Cool.
the whole movie, like the whole video, there's like Easter eggs of shit like in the video. But the thing for me, like JK, I remember shot that on, we didn't have like fancy equipment. He was like on a skateboard and somebody was like pulling him. I think it was Adam. I know
Yeah.
Adam, Foye, and Jem were like his assistant directors, and like he just like squatted down on a skateboard and was like, I need to like follow him. So they pulled him, and this is our street. So there's a scene where you can see like another like band van and trailer. That's just how it is in Nashville. That was a 12 South neighborhood. I'll be damned if I remember the name of the street.
Yeah.
Shit. I have no idea what the address was. Cedar
Shout
Lane?
out to mafiosos.
I think it was
Yeah.
Cedar Lane.
Mm-hmm.
Such a cute name. And the apartment was
Cedar
so
Lane.
cute too. And it had like I remember the door knocker was like a deer head, which was the album cover. So I was like, it's meant to be.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
It was a cool little place, and the whole neighborhood was like full of musicians and stuff like that. So like in the background you see like this other van and trailer. But I guess it was a pretty quiet street. I have no idea what day of the week it was that we filmed this or what time of year, because he knocked this shit out quickly because we wanted to meet Halloween deadline. I think he got this back to us in like a week.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
So we filmed this in like October in Nashville.
Right. It was for sure a weekend because,
Yeah.
you know, a lot of people work and we needed people. I feel like it was a Saturday, a sleepy Saturday in our neighborhood.
I wish I remembered like what I was doing. Like, no, because it's so easy for us now being in the band for 10 years, having done all these tours, and we hadn't done nothing at that point. Right. So like,
No, we had done some one-offs, I think.
I think it was, I think way more about what I'm going to wear or who's going to do my hair or my makeup or whatever. Like, I didn't think about any of that when we did this video. There was no like preparation. The main preparation was the zombie makeup. So you can see like Casey in this shot looks absolutely fucking awesome. He looks so cool. This is our friend Casey Conrad.
Yeah.
And the thing is, you'll notice he does this limp the entire video, dude. He committed to this limp, to this like bum leg. He's like dragging
shambling
the whole
yeah.
time. And he was in it. Look at all that blood. Look how good he looks. Like we couldn't ask for better friends to like shoot this with. Like
right. And and then all these effects too were like you know, like TJ said, it was around the time that Walking Dead came out. And so we got the DVDs of the first season. And so TJ and I just sat there watching the behind the scenes, and they talked about making the zombies, and they talked about using corn syrup and food coloring. They talked about using liquid latex. So like I did a lot of the makeup on like Adam, who you'll see later. And I remember being in the house and everybody's kind of being wrangled, and I'm sitting there just doing makeup one by one on people, and you know, taking the liquid latex and kind of like building it up on his cheeks to make it look like rotted flesh and blow drying it. And then they told you to put like corn, like oatmeal, and it would take oatmeal,
yeah, like raw,
and kind of put
oatmeal.
it in, put the latex over it, and then once all that's dry, then you know, take the makeup, and you're putting, you don't use black, you know, it's like some dark browns, you use purple for bruising, and you know, and we're makeuping over that, and then we're taking the corn syrup and putting on the blood, and there's just layers and layers. And I remember feeling so stressed trying to get it all done in time because we needed to start shooting, because you know, the sun was coming out, and he needed that good lighting in the morning.
And people like, oh, go ahead, Josh.
Oh no, I was gonna say that's cool. I was gonna ask like what your guys' because this is really the first time I'm hearing about a lot of this like behind the scenes stuff. You know?
Josh is like geeking out. He's like fanning
like,
out.
I mean, because I don't know, like it's quality. Like even like this still right here, like the blood
looks sick.
Like even his attire is like so like literally he was a businessman that is a zombie now.
Dude,
like
this is just a testament to every individual person. We did not assign them like a role. They were like, I'm going to be the businessman zombie. I want to be AJ, you'll see, was Kesha zombie. We have a dude who's referencing Dawn of the Dead zombie. Like some people were just like, I'm just going to wear a t-shirt and jeans or whatever. The little girl like wore just like whatever. But like some people like him, and I think Adam, really they just like created their own character, and they like you know, they came over to the house, they were like, this is gonna be badass. Like everyone was so into it. Like such good memories. The living room was just full of people, and then the backyard was full of people. It was so, oh my god, it was like the funnest weekend of my life. It was so fun.
That's awesome.
All right, do you want to keep playing it?
Here we go.
Got a mouthful of words, but nothing to say. If you could have seen how I looked yesterday, a hopeless disaster, but I'm getting better.
That scrolling back was actually our street.
Oh, the dead end. Yeah, and we were just like, oh my God, it's a dead end. Like, of course it is. And JK was like, I have to get the dead end sign in the shot. Like, have to get the dead end shot.
It's hard to like kind of scroll from
I
All the
know.
derps.
And it's a little like choppy too when you restarted to play. So thank you guys, everybody who's watching along with us. This is a lot of fun.
Yeah, I'm trying to.
We want to hear your favorite
there.
scenes. Oh, the B-roll. Like JK was just like B-roll, like candles, or like there's a little Resident Evil. Like remember those energy drinks that were like the T virus or antivirus?
I've still got it. It's on my TV right now.
It's like we were like anything in our house that looked like biohazard stickers. I think we found or bought on Amazon, or not even on Amazon 10 years ago. We found somewhere like, so there's all these like little like sneaky things we put in there.
And this is our basement, which I want to point out that it was like, okay, we put our music gear in there and we like hung the lamp, and there's a few other things. We put all the candles in there
everywhere.
But the rest of it
little
was
tea
not
lights
staged.
everywhere.
That was just our basement. It was that
True,
creepy.
true.
Wow.
That's where we did our
that's what it
laundry.
looked like, yeah.
You had to go
Wow.
down there to do laundry. And it was perfect because whoever owned the place like left a bunch of their stuff down there. So there was like the way the basement wasn't completely bricked off. It was cinder blocks down so far, but then dug out, so you'd have
oh
the
yeah,
dirt
and there was all
wall.
that shit.
And they
There
just
was all their
stacked
shit.
a bunch of their old stuff is just shoved up on top of the dirt next to the wall. And I remember one time I found a slide projector, and there was a box full of like slides, and we started like looking through, and there were old like family beach photos. It was definitely something from like a horror film. Like what was the Ethan Hawke film where the things
Gattaca?
Sinister.
Sinister?
Yeah.
It was like
Sorry, I
Sinister or
went
something. We found
way
all these
back.
slides.
Yeah, that sounds very creepy.
Yeah, so our basement was just a creepy murder zombie basement to begin with. So it was very easy to do set design in this basement.
Dude,
That's
but I
awesome.
want to say it was a tight squeeze. No pun intended. Like you guys remember when we three filmed and Javi and Kevin, of course, the halfway to nowhere video when we're like this was kind of like that, honestly. We were really on top of each other, and so this shot right now that you're kind of frozen on my crotch for whatever reason, and
That's where the fan frame landed.
yeah, it's fine.
I was just like, hey,
so
basement.
where you're seeing, like behind me, obviously in front of me would be like where JK is standing, and like directly behind him was like our washer and dryer. Like it was just like right there. So actually I had my makeup bag on the washer and dryer, and between takes I would like do my like makeup and like poof my hair, and every single take JK would be like, bigger hair. Do your hair, TJ, do your hair, because he was very like continuity, right? He was like fucking Steven Spielberg directing this thing. Like it was like the T. And the fact that it has like almost like 8 million views now is like, it doesn't really surprise me in a way, thinking about all that care to detail that we all put into it. But obviously it is very surprising to us. Like it was just a blessing that it got this many views. And so many people like found out who we are because of it. But like, we did this just to do it. Like we were not like, oh, we're going to get views and we're going to make money. We're going to get gigs. No, we were just like, this has to be perfect because it's the zombie thing, and the basement looks so fucking cool, and I got to get a shot of the candles and this and that, and your hair has to be more boofed. So
You
somebody
also have anal retentive Steve in the band, so of course everything has to be perfect and all the details. There's no like
Oh, dude,
slacking
but
on
it,
that.
it looked so good. Like JK had like the slide camera thing, and we were just like a bunch of kids that were just like, this is really professional. And he was
You can
like,
see the sticker you were talking about in this shot.
oh, the biohazard sticker. Yeah.
Biohazard. But speaking of your hair, Dr. Koga in the chat says, I just want to ask TJ, is your hair inspired by scene hairstyles back
Yes.
then?
Like literally Google search scene hairstyles.
Would
That's
you like to let everyone know where you worked back then too?
hot topic.
Yeah.
And like you love my fingerless gloves. Like Jordan saw this
That's
picture. He
awesome.
was like, "Oh, fingerless gloves." Like we all dress like that, people. 10 years ago, this was like the shit. I still want to dress like that. I still have a plaid.
Same.
I can't fit into those jeans anymore, but I still have that necklace too. I remember the hatchet necklace. I was like, this is making my outfit. The hatchet necklace is like, I wore it morning, noon, and night. That necklace was like my shit. And I was like, it's zombie. I have an axe. It's like perfect. This is the perfect necklace. And I will never get rid of it because of that. And I mean, it's a shitty like Hot Topic necklace, right? It's like not nice. It's all full of like rust now, but yeah.
And Javier Valencia says Never Look Back was the first song he's ever heard of us.
He
So-
also super chatted us
Cool.
on YouTube. So thank you, Javier, for that. We appreciate you.
Yes, thank you so much.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's go a little further in here. Oh, deep row. Baby cat.
Umbrella Company.
Right.
That's awesome.
Oh, wait.
Oh,
Pause.
Yeah, a
So-
zombie type book.
So that's my minivan, by the way, with the Umbrella Company logo. Like that was my car back then. That was Bertha. If y'all are old school fans, then you know Bertha. I will say no more.
And that was before this. I had also read Max Brooks' The Zombie Survival Guide. He also wrote World War Z. So we were just like, we got to give this to Corey. It looks like he's preparing, you know.
Yeah.
TJ's out here. She's poofing her hair. She's glamping. TJ's
Yes.
glamping.
Yes.
And Corey is here hanging out. And so part of the sequence of the events too, that was kind of is the idea was we're all kind of living our lives, doing our own thing.
That's a
And then the
great
zombie
screen grab.
happens. There, we'll leave that one. And it brings us all together. So the live performance of us playing the basement is technically where we all end up. We all end up and we're waiting out the apocalypse in this basement playing music. And so then all the story is flashbacks up until that. And so you'll see.
Is
as
it?
you
I don't even
see-
think I knew that.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so as you see as the video
Yes.
progresses, we slowly kind of run into each other. So it starts with me being chased, and then you get to hear where Corey and TJ are hanging out and they're camping. And then I'm gonna end up bursting in there. And so then as you watch, notice how it like we slowly gather members of the band and then finally end up in the bunker at the end. So
Yeah. Well, the funny thing is, like, somebody on YouTube commented, like, if it was a zombie apocalypse, I doubt I would be making a bunch of noise in a basement to hide. And I was like, dude, none of us ever thought. We were just like, okay, so to the camping scene, because we were all like, what do we do? Like, what do we do? Like, Kevin was his first day with us. He wasn't even in the band yet. And we built this fire. Again, this is our yard. So we like took the two vans and like parked them like this and made a makeshift campsite, because the theory is we're in the zombie apocalypse and we're like, essentially we're camping, we're hiding or whatever. Like we're surviving, like in The Walking Dead. And because they, you know, at first, if that shit goes down and you can't be in the city anymore, what do? You go camp. So
first season, they were in the campsite.
Yeah.
Outside of
So it
Atlanta.
was kind of inspired by
Yeah.
that. And I was like, well, what would I be doing in the zombie apocalypse? I was like, I'd be doing my hair and makeup. And yeah, and actually this shot right here, I'm wearing this pair of like Oakley sunglasses. So now I know that I was definitely working at Oakley when we shot this. I was
So
already
you had
quit
already left Hot
I
Topic.
already left Hot Topic. And I was working at Oakley, and I got like my very first pair of Oakleys is that pair right there that I'm wearing in the video. I still have those too.
That's cool.
I want to counter the argument from YouTube though that the zombie apocalypse, it's not like a quiet place. You know, it's not like you have to be quiet because
Yeah.
the alien can only
Yeah.
hear you and they can destroy walls. Zombies can be held back by a wire fence. Like, as long as there's something barricading them, you can be as loud as you want and do whatever you want. You know, blare your stereo. In fact,
Well, we didn't
I've
have
seen,
any
like,
barriers
zombie
in
things
this
where they
video,
have, like,
though.
you know,
We didn't have any barriers in the video. We were just like running from them the whole time. Anyway,
so yeah, that's I don't think as long as
no,
our
we had
barricade
the
in the
barriers in or well, no. We should do the same with what's the other video that we did that was like the continuation of this? Diamond in the Rough.
Diamond in the Rough, yeah.
Mm.
Josh was in that one.
I was.
Hey.
It-
Okay, so basically we're starting our own universe and I'm here for it. We're the Nearly
Yes.
Dead Zombieverse, and like this is our fucking storyline, and this is who we are. We're like a rock band. Like, what would a band do if the apocalypse happened? And apparently, hair and makeup, man, that was my shit. I was like, I'm gonna be done up. I have to be, because why else am I downstairs in the same outfit, done up? Anyway,
Dolan says some people have been waiting their whole lives for it, so hell yeah, they're going to be making noise to draw the zombies in so they can shoot them. He's been stocking up ammunition.
thank you, Dorian, for the shout out on YouTube. Thank you for the happy birthday / anniversary. Is it the 10th birthday or the 10-year anniversary? We don't know. Both.
I don't know. Yeah,
I think it's a
the
birthday.
the birth of the video.
Yeah, I think it's a birthday celebration.
All right, continuing on. Also, notice how your medical sign on your car is literally a piece of paper that we like used red tape or
Oh,
something.
and you know why we did that is because whose van was that? It wasn't ours. That was at Adam's van? Darling Parade's van?
Yeah, Darling Parade's van.
Was
Yeah.
it Darling Parade? They were like, don't put tape on our van. So we're like, all right. And it was a piece of poster board with that. Oh, do we still have that? We kept that for a
no.
long time. There's all kinds of things from this video that we like kept. That was probably in our basement for like ever. But like plus sign became like a thing. So later in the video, you'll see it on the door, and then in Diamond in the Rough, you see it on the door in Diamond in the Rough video. But that's like the plus sign is like our thing.
Kind of like in Apocalypse, you have the safe house signs. It's
Yeah.
like, this place is safe. We're friendly.
Yeah. So that's the safe house sign is the plus sign. It also like the Nearly Dead's like our first EP that this song is actually on. It had like the crosshairs, and like our logo was kind of like had like a plus sign in it. Right.
Right.
So I think that was like where we got that from.
Yeah,
don't know.
I think so.
This is a lot of fun, guys. Look how good my hair looks.
Continuing on.
Hey, it's just me. It's just Steve.
And there's Adam
Hey!
looking gnarly. And again, talking about committed friends, we had to do this shot several times. And every time Adam put the corn syrup in his mouth so that he could, like, as
Spit
he's
it
running
out.
by, spit it and
Wow.
have it drooling out of his mouth.
That's
So
wild.
yeah, this was the picture that I texted him, and I was like, "Hey, 10 years, man."
Dude, I remember there was a specific conversation amongst the zombies. So are we like fast zombies? Are we slow? What are we like? Like, what's our motivation? Uh, because they like plowed through that camp. That was so much fun because at this point we're like done for the day. Like the band's not in any of the rest of this. Like we are in the basement and like then we film that all the next day. The next day was just band shots in the basement. The first day we film all the outside stuff. So we were like done. So we're just like watching and we're just like hooting and hollering, just like watching people like, I don't know how we set up a clothesline out there, but I guess we did. But we had to like reset the clothesline. They had to run through it like a couple of times. And it just looks really cool. They just like ran all over the fire, like everything. It was just like, I knew that everybody that was doing that was having so much fun.
And you'll see it once again, Casey in the back shambling.
With his like leg.
his busted leg. He's pulling out the rear.
I love because he's, I would say, the slowest one because he's limping. He's like the slow zombie. Yeah,
exactly.
But like we did
continuity.
Again, we did not give him that role. He decided himself that he was going to be like a feature.
Yeah, that's
right.
That's awesome.
He's like, I'm going to do this. And by the way, Adam. Okay, so Adam and Casey, Nate is in here too, right?
Mm-hmm.
He's one of the other zombies wearing like a black T-shirt. They are all in this band called Darling Parade. I don't know why Kristen's not in the video. She must have not been available. But they were all like best friends of ours. This band Darling Parade and us played so many of our very first gigs together in Nashville. And so really like they're really special.
That's how this all started. We played at the Rutledge
with Darling Parade.
Darling Parade played that night
yeah.
And we were one of the openers and Adam saw us play. And so afterwards, before their set, they came out and talked to us and they were like, man, you guys were really good. We really liked your set, blah, blah, blah. And they had just put out their EP with JK. And he's like, hey, we've been working with this producer. He's really good. We think you should work with him. So it was all because of that show at the Rutledge that they became our friends. We played with them. And then we got to meet JK and who recorded our first like 3
And
EPs.
he helped us like write the songs too. So think back to that gig. What the fuck were we playing? We were playing What Happened. We were playing that early EP shit.
We played Never Look Back, but it was different.
It was different.
You know?
Did we play it that night?
Yeah.
You would remember. So. It was longer. It was our first song that we wrote as a band with me in the band because you guys had a male singer and couldn't replace him or whatever. And I auditioned for the band.
I think we even played some Danger Flight songs.
Yeah.
Just with you singing.
Well, because because Special was an old Danger Flight song that like then because all the stuff in the first EP, that's all with JK. So before that, it was all the Not Nearly Enough EP. And then he just like helped us craft our sound into like something like, you know, what you hear now. And it, like I said, it's just a testament to where we were in the moment that it has like so many millions of views.
Right. All right, let's see.
Yay. See the plus sign? Hey, Brandon's like, come on in. I'm waiting.
It was like the straggler.
There's Steve.
It was Brandon's basement. So the band's finally together.
Was that intentional?
No, him hitting the thing was not intentional.
Okay, I had to ask because some of those little things, you know.
No,
that's awesome.
And that would be a moment that JK was like, he'd be like, look at this, look how cool this looks, like happy accident. Like he's like, this is the shit. Yeah. This is the greatest scene. It has to be in the video.
Yeah.
Oh, for sure. Because we had a million takes. We could have done something else, but JK was like, no, here.
This is the one.
This moment it's having that one. Because those are like, yeah, like you said, a happy accident. The things that you don't intend are oftentimes the best part.
Happy accidents. Yeah. That was a lot of that video was just like happy accidents. It was JK's first video he even filmed. He bought a camera to do this with us.
That's
right?
crazy.
He did. He was just like, I'm doing this. We're doing this. And I'm going to buy a camera and it's going to be great.
A
Wow.
lot of the Nearly Deads is happy accidents. The song Brave, when I was recording the lead parts, oftentimes I do lead, but then I also will do roctaves, which is typically it's like a harmony layered underneath the rhythms. And so I was going through and I was working on the final chorus, and I accidentally played a half step lower. But then it ended up doing this kind of almost like, because most of our stuff is in a minor, darker key, and it pulled this major out. And we were just like, that actually kind of like sounds cool. And so from there, like the back half of Brave is all played in that major rub against the rhythm.
It sounds so cool.
And
Yeah.
it just changed up, and it was like just an added like little extra. Okay, this is kind of cool, but it was just from me screwing up in the studio is how it came about.
So I want
Those
to
are the best.
answer Dr. Koga's question really quickly. You said Never Look Back was the first song you wrote. However, Fact and Friction was released before, which he's not wrong, or they're not wrong, right? We had a video for Fact and Friction. We just celebrate Never Look Back because it's got 8 million views. Like Fact and Friction has like 2. Now, I mean, right? On Blank TV, it has a lot.
Fact and Friction on our page
Doesn't even have
has
a million.
not broken a million, but
On Blank
remember,
TV,
Blank TV picked up Never Look Back and Fact and Friction. And honestly, I don't even think Never Look Back has a million views on Blank TV, but Fact and Friction has 2 or 3 million on Blank TV.
Yeah,
Wow.
it has a lot on Blank TV, which I don't even know if we even get. I'm sure we get some sort of like YouTube, monetization from that because it's our song. I'm sure we do.
Well, I mean, YouTube pays you like $10
Pennies.
for every million views.
Yeah, it's like
It's
crazy.
not like
So
Nice.
the thing is, like, Fact and Friction was a song that I wrote myself. Like, I had joined the band and we were working on this EP, and that was a song that I had just wrote, like, start to finish. I think there was definitely some changes made and some lyrics added by, like, other band members and by JK, and we did that video first. I don't even know why we did it first. I mean, maybe we thought it was a stronger song, but it wasn't like a song that we wrote as a band. It was a song that I wrote. Never Look Back was a song that you all had written before I joined the band that had no lyrics to it. It was a song that you guys were working on. I'll never forget this. Like, we went over to little Corey's house. So to give everyone like kind of a backstory, like Steve, little Corey, and big Corey, the drummer, used to be in this band called Danger Flight in Tampa, and I was in this band called Blondes Not Bombs, and we all knew each other. I knew their singer Scott, and they all decided that we were all going to move to Nashville and like become rock stars or become whatever. So at that time, like, I wasn't in your band. I was still doing my own thing, and like Corey, we were at Corey's little house, and he helped write that song, and we played gigs with Corey and Rick, and then we had how many other bass players? I remember that playing the 5 spot with like Rick and Corey on, like, we were all wearing like Patty's Pub t-shirts that day.
Yeah.
Damn. God, I feel so old.
Speaking of Sunny.
Shit, I feel so old. But like, I went over to your rehearsal with the band, and I was like, this is pretty cool. I could sing against this, like, I think I have something I could bring to this band. But you guys were still waiting for like Scott to move to Nashville, and it just wasn't happening. And then I ended up auditioning, and you guys let me be in the band, and the rest is history, right? But that was the song y'all were rehearsing with, that I was like, I want to write lyrics and a melody to this song. And then Steve had written a lot of the chorus, and I wrote the rest of the verse, and we fine-tuned the chorus like all together. So like, as a band, that was the first song that we ever wrote all like us all together. Do you agree with that?
Right. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. It's always the best song is always like the first one you ever write. Like, I think the
reason Fact ended up being the first video was because remember, like you said, JK bought a camera for this. JK had never shot a video before. So when we finished the EP, the idea of JK doing a video wasn't really on the table. Like nobody had like thought of it.
Yeah.
And so I had, after moving to Nashville, done a couple 48-hour film festivals, and I had met John Fusel and done I did music for one of his films. So that's how I knew him. And I was like, hey, he does, you know, he's a director and he's done some music videos. Let's do a video with him. And I think we picked Fact and Friction just because of the theatricality of the song and the music. And we liked it and it was cool. It was different. And it is. But so we did that video. And so it was after the fact that, JK was like, because we had spent money on that and we were just, I don't think we have the budget to pay for another video. And then it was at that point that was JK was like, you need a zombie video. Zombies are in now. He's like, so I don't care that you don't have a budget. I'll buy the camera. Let's shoot it. So that's how we ended up doing Never Look Back.
JK had to do it. We were all just like,
Well, and I think JK would have been fine with us having another director do it. I think we were just lucky for all of us, we just didn't have it in our budget and it wasn't in the cards.
Well, so
if it was in the bait,
he had taken like some classes. Like he's not like, this is not like baby first time ever director. Like he had taken some classes.
He watched a lot of YouTube
in college and watched a lot of YouTube.
That's the way, man.
Mm-hmm.
Like we were like so on that shit before. Now everyone else, that's how everyone does everything. They just look it up on YouTube how to do it. We were just like, how do you shoot a music video? And like the edits of this video were just like, it's still probably one of my favorite videos that we have. And he's done, and oh my God, we've had he filmed I Said with us. He filmed Diamond in the Rough with us.
Diamond in the Rough. Mm-hmm.
And and those are great. I'm not saying they weren't great, but like, I don't know, just like the vibe of this one is just like, I don't think you can beat it. Nothing's ever come close. Nothing's ever come close to like as many views.
Right. And I think that's what made doing videos after that difficult, because this video hit 1 million views and then we had this
to live up to this. Oh, for sure.
How do you live up to it? How do you make it viral? And so when the others didn't hit that, it's kind of like, this is sort of a bummer.
We've been trying to break out of that for years. And like our diehard Patreon supporters, like I'm sure you guys know that about us. Like, right? We talk about it. We're just like, we got caught in this wheel of like needing to top that. And right? I don't know. That's how I feel. Like needing
or at
to
least
top
match
it or
it or
match it.
live up to it.
Yeah.
We didn't want to be like the one hit wonder as far as like we have our one viral. And I think My Evil Ways kind of helped alleviate that.
Yeah,
because
for sure.
My Evil Ways has a couple million views now. So it made us feel like, okay, look, we can do it again. We can do another viral video, viral song. And then you just look at different platforms too. Because if you look at Spotify, Never Look Back is king on YouTube, but My Evil Ways overtook Never Look Back on Spotify, and Freak Show, which we have a video coming out on Sunday, is creeping up pretty close to Never Look Back. It could end up overtaking it.
I mean, I hope you guys like the video for Freak Show, because that one looks dope. It's like, it's so cool. I can't wait for everyone to see it. It comes out on Halloween. It comes out on Sunday.
Yes.
All right, let's.
Well, maybe once it's live next week, our stream, we can do a reacts to Freak Show.
All right, I'm down.
That could be fun.
Yeah.
All right. So continuing on, we were in the bridge of the song here. The zombies are banging at the door. That was I remember you talking about the moment where Josh calling out the moment where Brandon hit the jar being a moment. The other moment there is our friend up front she looked back to look at the camera, but when she did that, it made her eyes roll on the back of the head, and she looked like super creepy
It's
and
the
dead.
coolest shot.
Wow.
And JK was like, okay, this one needs, that was another, this needs to be in the film shot.
That's awesome.
Did we film any behind? I don't think we filmed behind the scenes because I'm pretty sure I still had a fucking razor. Like, I don't know. Like, did we all have iPhones back then? So, okay, how we filmed that? Can you zoom back to like the zombie like horde at the door?
Yeah.
So how that was filmed was like next to our apartment, right? There was like a little concrete patio with like a fenced area, and it you know, less than 10 feet wide. So to shoot this, because again, we're not professionals, right? This JK just bought a camera, was like, I'm doing this. He's on top of just a ladder going like this with the camera.
That's crazy.
Oh yeah. He was what a cinematographer, right?
Yeah.
He was like, I have to do this. I have to get on this. How can we get up here? And where did we even get a ladder from?
I think it was in the basement, just amongst all the other junk. But and then also earlier on in the scene where you guys run up to the door and then I run up to the door, it's also an overhead view. Well, that was shot because the apartment was an old house divided into 4 apartments, and it was 2 stories. So next to that patio, he went up to the second floor where the second apartment was, and he was leaning over the railing.
Okay, so if can you pause it, because you can see his feet in the shot.
Oh really?
Oh yeah, there's a certain I think it's when either me and Corey are running in with Kevin, or right there. See that? See that? That's like. So that's cool. That's how we did that. So this is the apartment upstairs. He's standing on their patio. He's standing on their deck, a deck balcony, and just filming straight down. But like, and also like the treatment that he put on the video, right? So color wise, it just looks so kind of like dead decay. Like it has this like cool like washed effect. Like that again is another like genius move of JK to like make this look kind of like withered and old.
Well, he was very much referencing Walking Dead.
Yeah,
because Walking Dead has that very muted palette.
But like, we can't make this shit. Like, look at the leaves. It was definitely October. Like, there's leaves everywhere. Like, we didn't do anything to our fucking patio or our backyard. Like, we did nothing. It just all looked like this. We didn't do anything to that basement. In fact, I think we had to move a bunch of shit out of the basement. We just
what you said, like all the leaves and the color palette that helps for like the feet. Like if you didn't point that out, I would have never noticed it.
Can you see his feet right there? Is that the shot?
It's right there.
You can tell
one toe, and that's the other toe there. He's wearing black shoes, so that helps.
Yeah,
but I would have never noticed unless you said something.
Yeah, I totally forgot about that until and I totally forgot about that until we were like talking about like I was like, oh, how did we shoot that anyway?
I love that though, because there's so many like movie things where they like show where there's people messed up or there's continuity issues. Like those are just as cool as
the infamous Starbucks caught.
Yeah.
Look at Lacey's eyes in this shot. Isn't that sweet?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's
so crazy. We have Adam, we have Lacey, we have Nate and Casey in this shot. Like they just look so cool.
And I believe that was that Kim's friend or no? There was someone. I'm trying to think.
There's credits in the end. I believe his name was Ben.
Ben, yeah, and then, that's either Amanda there or Amanda's friend. I think Amanda was one of the front people down
AJ?
Here. Yeah.
But just like Lacey's eyes are so creepy in that. And I remember so we were watching JK film this. We weren't part of any of this again on that day. So like imagine the sound of like just people on the door. Like you're not listening to the song. You just have to like imagine it. So it's just like and JK being like, look angrier. You're hungry.
then-
You're zombies. He definitely said, he was like, Lacey, look at the camera, and she was like, ah, like that was a direction that he was giving. He was like giving these direction, and I'll never forget it. It was fun. It was so much fun.
Yeah, and then you'll see too, because we were probably hanging out outside, but earlier when they finally break through the door, the shots where he's like behind us in the stairwell, and so they're trying to listen to the cue through the door.
Yeah.
You know, they're still all out there, and we're trying to time it 1, 2, 3, and then make it look like it just opens and they plow through. So yeah, we can watch through that part now. That was a cool shot of Caitlin.
That's
there.
a great shot of Caitlin. Like, if you didn't
Very
know
That's
that was
like a creepy shot.
I know,
It's cool.
if you didn't know this was like a music video, you might think it was just like a horror movie.
Yeah.
That was, I remember that being
look
such
at
a
that.
good
That's
shot.
crazy.
Look at the lighting there, and
Oh, that's AJ. I think
That's AJ
she
up
looks
there,
like
and-
the girl. She looks
Wow.
like Linda Blair from The Exorcist.
I mean, it's really what they did such a good job. Like it's really wild. It's really cool.
That
Yeah,
was fun.
there's Lacey and Caitlin.
And everyone was like so into it. That's what I'm saying. Like, without these people, like, no way would it be this awesome. Everyone just like, so we were all just having a good time. And, you know, I've always said this in every single, like, we've done interviews over the years, and everyone's like, oh, I'm like, I don't know why any of this went the way it was, but I think when an audience can tell when you're genuinely having fun and into it and creating something that you like, your heart is in, like, that's the stuff that succeeds. If you ever deviate from that, it's like it just becomes instantaneously phony.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We were. I was talking about that with my friends the other night because I was over at I was at Mo's house, and I was, you know, working on some solo stuff with, and John Joe was there, and my friend Kel, and he left, and it was Mo's son's birthday. He had turned 23, and
Dude, Mo has a
and-
son that's 23.
yes.
Oh, fuck.
And he
Wow.
was pretty schwasty, and he was funny. And so Mo's son loves making beats. And so he came out there and he started talking to me and John, and he was like, hey man, would you guys, he's like, I don't want to be a burden, but could you, when you're done doing your thing, can you write some stuff for some of my beats? I just want to hear some. He's like, I can't rap, I can't sing, I don't want to do anything. So we're late night hanging out, and so me and John are sitting there writing lyrics, and I'm like writing a chorus, and John's writing up some like verses. We go, and then John goes and raps them on the track, and then we're done. And we were just laughing, and we were just kind of like, this is fun. And John was like, yeah, I'd come back and do this again. And we're just having a good time. And Mo was like, yeah, wouldn't it be funny? It's just like this stupid shit that we're doing right now. Like if he releases it on SoundCloud, it's like, this is what's just gonna blow up and take off. It's just us hanging out, just
Dude,
Yeah.
messing around.
that shit happens, man. That's how it happens.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Dr. Koga said, do you think the zombie music video contributed to the success of Never Look Back when comparing it to the band's other songs like Fact and Friction or I Said?
Yeah, I think so for sure.
I think more people heard the song because this music video went viral. You know, it's been 10 years and it has 8 million views, but that is 10 years of views. But when it came out, it got 1 million views like very quickly. Like 1 million, 2, 3. Like I remember playing the Journey's Backyard Barbecue that summer. So it was October, and by summer it had 3 million views. We were just like, pff, right? Or was it 1 million? And then it was like 2, 3, 4. Like, so I don't know how many views it gets per year now, maybe like 10,000 a month, which when we were a first baby band making this, to even get 10,000 views period was like insane. Like nobody else we knew had done that. No one else would ever do that. And it was just like,
well, it's sort of its success on YouTube solidified it as a single.
yeah.
Like Never Look Back doesn't necessarily like I said, it's not necessarily leaps and bounds ahead of all our other songs on other platforms, but it is still up there because when people discover us on YouTube, if they go to listen to us on Apple Music or Spotify or wherever else, that's how they know us. So that's going to be the first thing they listen to, you know, when they search us on other things. So it kind of, you know, I don't think we've ever really specifically said this is a single when we've put out a record, or this is the album single. Like we'll release some things, but it's almost as if like each record organically picks its own singles, you know?
So the Nearly Dead's album has that plus sign on it. I don't even remember. We hired somebody to make this. Came out in 2011. March 4th, 2011. I wonder when we did the video for Fact and Friction, because we released this in March. I don't even know these things except for if Apple Music reminded me. So on that album was Fact, Never Look Back, Reasons, Special, The Perfect Cure, and Thanks for Nothing. And I just want to add one thing to that. It's like, I've always thought, like, yes, I think the zombie video helped, but the message of the song, I think, is the most relatable to the most amount of people. And that's also what I think about My Evil Ways. And I think about those two songs being our number 1 and number 2 songs of all time, videos, streams, and everything. And I'm like, it's only until you put out a lot of music that you even start to realize that. You're like, oh, wow, the message of like, forget your regrets and like, I am who I am with Evil Ways, like be yourself. Like, I think those are just really relatable to you guys. And I think that's why the songs maybe were a little bit more successful than like Fact and Friction or I Said. Like, I know people love Fact and Friction and I Said, and Reasons. That's another one that a lot of people just love. Mm-hmm. But they're a little bit more like breakup songs, or Fact and Friction's a little bit more intuitive. Like, I don't know what you guys would say about it, but
I would say, yeah, I was gonna say I would say it's more like kind of like metaphorical, or it's artsy, you know.
Dude, but at the time I was like, this is gonna be the next big thing, and then we did that video, and it was a great video.
Like, we were writing it and we were getting so stoked on it. We're like, we're gonna be the next Queen or something. You know, it's like it's gonna be super theatrical, and then it's like, no, people just want rock. They want Never Look Back. They want.
I mean, I appreciate a lot that like Dr. Koga asked that question. It's like we live this. Like, I don't ever sit back and think like, okay, what was I thinking of like which song would be? And like, I guess Steve, you just mentioned that we're like, we don't really plan what song is going to be the song. It just kind of
like, I think in general, Nearly Dead's is pretty organic. Like, we don't I might, when I'm writing a song, I might have a particular influence or something that's inspiring me in the moment, but I don't think the Nearly Dead sound is our sound because it's us. Yeah. It's like, we've never approached the band as like, this is what we want to sound like, and so each song needs to sound like this. And I think that's why.
At least we weren't back then, because back then there was no preconceived notions of like what we should sound like.
Right. But even now, it's like, I think there's a little bit of, okay, well, the fans like that we're a rock band. And so like the Nearly Dead sort of needs to have electric guitars and drums. and it needs to have TJ singing. But outside of the bass, outside of the broad spectrum of the Nearly Dead's needs to be rock, I think our catalog ends up being fairly diverse because, you know, we're not writing each song with the same end goal in mind. It's like we start with this seed that's in the ballpark, and then we let it just kind of grow into whatever it's going to be, and then it either takes off or it doesn't. People click to it or they don't.
Yeah.
But the thing that's fun too, though, is what I always appreciate is, yeah, we have our songs like Never Look Back and My Evil Ways that blow up and are relatable to a lot of people, but I think even the songs that aren't as popular mean something to somebody. And like our director Josh, who just did Freak Show,
yeah,
he did his homework and he listened to all our music and watched all our videos, and he came back and he's like, I want to do a video for As Good as It Gets, which is probably the least played song of Revenge. It's a ballad like a lot of our other songs, and it's not as popular, but that song meant something to him. Like the message meant something
it
personal
also
to
got
him.
picked up for sync licensing too over all of the other songs on the record, because it's like a more commercial sounding song.
Oh, did it?
Yeah. Remember when we hired Stephen Nathan?
Yeah.
Like that, I had to do a whole bunch of like, hey, this is TJ from the Nearly Deads, and you're listening to As Good as It Gets. I had to do all this shit.
Yeah,
Remember
that?
that?
Was a while. Yeah.
That was forever ago. That was like 5 years ago. All right, so can you play the rest of the video? Because there's like a little bit at the end. So Casey, Adam, Nate, Caitlin, AJ, Kim, Jay, that's his name. Producers, directors, wardrobe. Hey, that's us, wardrobe and makeup. TJ and Steve. This is so cute. I love it.
That's awesome.
And then our website. We wanted it to look like a horror movie, so he played like the Dawn of the Dead song. And
that's awesome.
Which,
dude,
by the way, that's another story right there. So
oh yeah, that got us very flagged.
Yes, we got flagged and we could no longer monetize. So it removed monetize, so we could no longer make money off of it. And it couldn't get posted to like things like Blank TV. And so it was this whole debacle. We got the notification after it had hit like 40 or 50,000 views or something. Or maybe it was even after 100,000 views, but it was already at a point where we were blown away. We're like, how in the world is this video getting that much traction? Then we get this notification. We're like, what? We can't make money. And we did all this research and we found out it was because JK had put this music over the credits. And since it wasn't, well,
he said it was
available.
Public domain. He said it was public domain song, which is like free to everyone to use when it's in public domain. And because I remember being like, when he showed us that at the end, I was like, I remember saying something to him all these years ago that I was like, dude, I don't think you can use this song. And he was like, no, it's all good. It's public domain. And even when we started getting like the copyright claims, he was like, we're going to get this settled. It's a public domain song.
Well, no, I mean, no. See, I remember it differently.
That's how I remember it.
Because we had this whole issue that we had to remove it. If we were going to monetize Never Look Back, we had to remove it. But in order to do that, he would have had to take it down and re-upload it, and we would have lost all our views and had to start basically over from the beginning. And so we were just stressing out about it. We're like, well, what do we do? Because, I mean, we don't know if it's going to get the same traction if we remove it and re-upload it. But if we don't, like, I mean, it is because back then YouTube actually paid out. Like back then we made good money every month, and since then they've changed their algorithms and all that. But what ended up happening is he he reached out to YouTube and he made a new version without the song, and he was able to get like YouTube to swap the video out basically with keeping all our views. So we found out a way to like fix it without losing all our views. But yeah, I remember it put such a damper on our like excitement for everything, because it's like, oh, of course, what is this roadblock? There's always the nearly dead speed bump or hurdle that we have to overcome. That's been sort of a theme to us that we laugh about, is because it's like the band is always almost nearly dead. There's always something where it's like, we lose band members, or like we lose managers, or we, the label doesn't turn out like we wanted it. We're getting it off. There's always some sort of speed bump or hurdle we have to get over. And so that was the one with this video, but it ended up all working out.
Yeah.
Nice. So wait, so how do you still have the song in the video if you got it like re-uploaded without the song?
It's a different song now. It's either
okay.
a different song or it's gone.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's a different version of it. What I remember from my conversations was, so a song may be public domain, but someone's specific recording of it may not be. So I think what he had used was a specific recording of it that somebody was like claiming, whatever. But to be honest with you, I went and looked at our shit, and Steve, we're going to have a conversation about a few of our videos are not monetized right now, and this is one of them.
They say that on YouTube because we use
Video.
NVIDIA or Vidya or
Vidya,
whatever.
are they paying
So
us?
they collect all of it.
I was like very worried. I was like, because to be transparent with our fans and our people who are watching, we do make money off YouTube. Is it as much as we used to? No. Do people make money off of YouTube? Absolutely. But, we're talking influencers and people with like millions, like everything they upload gets a million. Those people can make some money. But like with us getting like a few thousand every week, like we don't really see a lot of money from it, but we do see money. And then
even those people that are making the money, most of it's not from YouTube directly. It's from getting the sponsorships and the branding that they get paid for advertising.
But you get paid for like ad views. And now I guess if you watch the full ad, but nobody does, then you get paid. But before, I remember you had to be invited to have ads on your video, which we were one of the first to get invited to have ads. We are always invited because of the number of subscribers we have. So thank you guys all for watching and subscribing. We love you guys so much. But get invited for like YouTube Creator Studio and YouTube this and that and everything. And like, it's my dream that we can have 100,000 subscribers, because you get that little like plaque. Mm-hmm. We only have 69,000. I was like, I want to like push. How are we going to get 100,000? But I don't know. But it would be really cool to get like more YouTube subscribers.
I was going to say Freak Show.
Maybe with Freak Show, we'll get some more.
And we're writing a whole new album. So yeah.
I just want to do more videos. Like, especially after doing Freak Show, I was just like, I just want to do more of this. That Josh was so inspired to do a video for As Good As It Gets. I'm like, let's do it. Because remember how passionate JK was about doing this. And how passionate, what's his name was about doing the My Evil Ways video.
Nathan. Sorry.
Yeah.
Daniel was the
Nathan did My Evil Ways and Revenge, and those are great. They're both great videos. But I remember like with the Evil Ways, again, it was like on a budget, on a dime, in a practice space, like.
That's what makes me very curious about Freak Show. Because again, that's another trend from the Nearly Deads. The stuff that costs us the least always does the best.
Yeah.
The budget stuff is what rocks it.
Well, somebody had mentioned, I said, I mean, like obviously we love everything we do. And like nothing that we've done has like no views, It's just weird thinking of, well, it doesn't have 1 million. It only has 200,000.
Which is like
still a ton when you like put it into perspective of like, we're not signed, we're not touring, You know what I mean? Like, we're not on a label. We're not doing anything big right now. So
Dr. Koga is going to get us 100 by Halloween. He's 31,000 subs by this Sunday.
we need
Let's do it.
31,000 subs by this Sunday. Oh no. But like real people though. Now
by
I'm
the way-
worried that they're just going to go get some bot. And I'm like,
Oh,
well, no.
he's just saying that's the goal.
We're very proud though. I will say we're very proud. Like when you say organic success, like that's what we've witnessed. That's what we've experienced. And there's been a handful of people online who'll be like, well, just because we have 69,000 subscribers and 8 million views, that's like 10 years worth of views, man. People don't watch it one time. So like you catch a little bit of hate, but I'm like, we've never paid for views, subscribers. No, we've never paid for anything like that. 10 years ago, there wasn't anything like that.
Yeah.
Or maybe there was,
we
but
pay
we
to
sure
market, but that's different than
we
like,
pay. We
That's
like
like
hire
promotion.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
hire
promotion, PR.
yeah, we hire a PR guy to like, get us some interviews and get us on some blogs and to like get some press, which everyone does. But that's not like paying for views or subscribers.
Right.
And the fact that we
Yeah.
had that many subscribers, it was almost like, it's kind of like, well, only 69,000 subscribers after like the video has already had like 3 million views. So it's like how many, like that was all within like the first year or so that
Yeah.
was how long. So we love you guys. We love all of our YouTube subscribers, and especially you guys on YouTube that watch these live streams every week.
Speaking of Jedno, he'd been there. He said hi a while ago. Sorry. Hey, what's up, Jedno? But I was gonna say, to the point of the just like the trends with the nearly deads, is I think it's funny because talking about like the budget thing, so everything we do is on a budget. Like all the videos, no matter what, it's we're doing the props ourselves, we're doing most of it ourselves. It's not like we're hiring crews.
No,
But
no.
the difference, though, I think is funny, because obviously we can't expect everybody we work with to just shoot our videos for free. But
Yeah.
it is just funny that the Never Look Back video JK did for free because he wanted to do it, millions of views. But the next two videos, I said in Diamond, we paid him for, because obviously we can't ask him to keep doing stuff for free. They don't, they don't break a million. Then Nathan does My Evil Ways for free because he's basically auditioning to work with us. It's at 2 million views. We pay him to do Revenge, doesn't break a million.
Yeah.
Daniel, we paid him to do that video, does not break it. So, and now Josh, the new director, he did this video for free, sort of. I mean, I did work for him for free, so it was a bartering thing.
Yeah.
But
Mhm.
we didn't pay him, so it's that's why I'm just so curious, because I'm like, new director, he did it
we'll
for
see.
free. He wanted to do it. Let's see if the trend
You know,
continues and it breaks a million.
I just want to do stuff that inspires us and gets us fired up to show up in the morning to fucking do it, right? Like that's something was driving us. I don't want to get into my 5 love languages or whatever, but like you can totally see a band as a relationship, and that was like the infatuation period of like, nothing can stop me from doing everything for this band, about this band, by this band. You know what I mean? We were just like, bam, but we got to do this and this and that. We were just like buzzing with creativity. And, obviously over the years, like things change, members change, people get married, people get divorced, people have kids, people fucking whatever, move on. We've, just so much has changed. It's just wild. And I almost think like, looking back on this, we're chasing that initial thing.
Right.
We always will be, because will anything ever be as special? I don't think so. But when we're like adults and we want to make a living as artists, like it just fucks you all up in your head, because you like want to do something that inspires you, but also is monetarily successful. And when you see that you've had success of that in the past, you want to just like constantly be like, I've got to be able to do this again. We can't just be a one-time thing.
I don't know. I feel like I'm in a very different mindset. Like I don't feel, and it almost feels like I feel like I'm in a much better place than I was earlier on in the band, because I feel like earlier on in the band, after that first record, from like Invisible Night to Revenge, it was very much like, this is all I have going for me. I need to make a career. With the Nearly Deads, this needs to make money, and I need to be like a famous, successful rock musician. And it's not like it's never like I've turned my back on it, like, oh, I don't want that anymore. But I feel like I'm in a very different place now, where it's like I'm not really thinking about that ever, and I'm not chasing that, because I have a career. I live a comfortable life right now. It's like I'm not in this band chasing that dream. I'm in this band doing something that I love, that I'm passionate about.
So I don't want to interrupt you, but I want to be honest with you and tell you that I never wanted that. I was never sitting at home as like a teenager or a 20-something being like, I'm going to be a famous rock and roll musician. I never thought that. And I think the success of Never Look Back propelled me into this thought process of like, could I do this? Because people seem to like this and this is doing well. Like the point I'm trying to make is we did not set out to make that video with that mindset at all.
Oh yeah. I was speaking of after that record.
After that success, after that record, after that success, we literally got signed. We did Warped Tour. We did all this stuff in 2012, which is like fucking forever ago now, right? And it was like,
but I think it would be
crazy
a little bit
year that you're like, okay, I guess this is what I'm doing now. Like, this is just what I'm doing because it's coming to me. So
yeah, but it's a little bit misguiding to say that we didn't think about it at all, when the whole point of moving to Nashville was for more musical opportunities.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Because I wanted to be a professional musician.
Yeah.
So the idea was there, but I think the reality of what was possible didn't happen until Never Look Back.
Yeah. And and even I want to really hear what Josh has to say, because like you weren't like a founding member of the band. Like you didn't move to Nashville with like, big hopes and dreams. And back then, hopes and dreams, like we were not delusional. We were very much like, if you can pay the bills with your music, that's it. We're not trying to be mega famous, and we're still not trying to be. Let me be honest with that. Like, we're still just trying to pay our bills with the music and not feel guilty about that.
No, I mean, well, it's kind of funny because I basically did the same thing, just with a different band. We did move to Nashville.
Yeah, you did.
And it just happened that we broke up and you guys were looking for a drummer, so it was kind of like, but yeah, I definitely see both sides to it. I mean, when you think back to the root of everything, we all started wanting to play music in the first place, not to make money. Like when you're a kid, like learning to play an instrument, it's just because you enjoy it,
Yeah.
But I definitely get getting kind of tied up in the, once you do have somewhat of sort of like some success, you're just like, oh, I want more.
You want more.
You would like, but then, as kind of like what Steve was saying, I definitely get the I'm kind of in the same mindset now, as far as like, which I do have to say, I think maybe the time we took off helped us kind of reset into like, even writing this album, like we're just doing it because we love it. We have no, like, we're not thinking like this song's going to be the song, this song, or this is going to, or we're going to make this song sound this way so it's on the radio. We're just like, we love all the stuff we're writing. We're just doing it because we love it. And I think, and I also have been trying to think, it's not like we're not successful. Like we're very successful. We all like each other. We all write
I don't know
music.
about that.
I know. I mean, that's an iffy one. We can
we all like each other here. There may be one person that
No, we cannot hate on Javi because he's not here.
Yeah. But no, you know, I mean, we are successful. I think there's a lot of different types of success, you know, besides the views and money. You know, we still get to write music. We still get to play music with each other. I know we want to do it more. I know that's the
Yeah.
ultimate goal, is just
Yeah.
being able to, we want to play a show, that's for sure. You know, but yeah, I think I definitely see both sides to it, absolutely, you know. But I think ultimately right now I'm kind of in the same headspace of just enjoying it, like doing what we love doing right now, you know, and hoping I'm not, I wouldn't be mad if Freak Show blew up or something, you know. I mean, that would be great, you know.
Yeah,
But
I
if it,
think that's always like the best case scenario. And
yeah,
what happened with Never Look Back was like beyond the best case scenario. Like
yeah,
we thought, I've said this in several interviews, that I don't even know what the question would be. Like, did you expect this, or did you set out for that? And I would be like, when we started this, we thought it would be like the coolest thing in the world if we got 100,000 views. Like, that's like astronomical. That's a lot. That's a
yeah,
lot. Even 100,000 streams on one song for like a no name local band. Wow, we were like, that would be amazing if we could get 100,000. That was like maybe in my head what I was envisioning.
mm-hmm,
And then it just like it got 100,000 views in like a week. I was just like,
yeah,
whoa. And it's the reason we have so many fans to this day. It's the reason so many people around Nashville knew who we were and got us the gigs with the people. And just it's just the reason for everything. Like, how can we not celebrate it? I can't believe it was 10 years ago. Like, it feels crazy.
you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, and even another thing from my perspective, since I joined like after Never Look Back, is, you know, the first two videos I'm in didn't do, like I said, and Diamond in the Rough, not that they didn't get like a substantial amount of views, but it was kind of the same feeling for me when all of a sudden we do Evil Ways and it's riding on 2 million views. I'm like, oh, that's crazy,
Yeah.
you know. So like, you know, I mean, it
You don't know what's gonna
yeah, you
be
just, yeah,
big and what's not. And like, at the end of the day, like, you can't orchestrate it. You can't.
yeah,
So stop trying, right?
yeah,
Yeah, and like you said, success is subjective, you know, and I think a lot of times it's easy to want to compare yourself to these megastars and artists that, you
Right.
know, have been doing it for years or doing, you know, what they're doing. And if that's your goal, you know, then you know, that's kind of where you look. But, you know, it's they've already made it, you know. But if you compare, you know, it is kind of humbling when I compare myself, or not even like compare, but just like view us and people that I know and people that are sort of in the same situation, you know, about the same age, doing it at the same level. And then, you know, they haven't, you know, they look at us or like look at my band and it's like, I wish I was hitting those numbers, or I wish I had that,
mm-hmm,
you know, and so then you're just like, oh, well, I guess compared to other people, you know, we've made the big time. But you know, it's we don't always see that because
yeah,
we're comparing ourselves to like Foo Fighters or something, you know, it's
Oh
like
yeah,
yeah.
selling it.
100%.
Yeah, and I've been humbled by friends from that are in bands, local band, you know, like that. I understand exactly what you're saying. But for, yeah, for us, it's like I want to tour. I want to go to Wembley.
Right. And then I
Yeah,
feel
we
like
just
a
have
Yeah,
big
jackass because I
dreams.
hear them talking about like they're
yeah,
amongst each other and they're like, you know, we did this like PR thing and you know it's got 20,000 streams now, you know, and they're super hyped on it. And then I'm like I'm over here like an asshole because I was like pissed that the last track didn't get 100,000. You know, it's
Yeah.
like
yeah,
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 totally.
yeah.
It it puts things into perspective for sure.
Mm-hmm.
We've done so many fun things over the years. My God. And I feel like it's just beginning. Like, almost.
Yeah.
So I'll say this. You know, this is pre-Josh and Javi, you know, it's just like me, Steve, JK sitting around and just being like, JK literally having like a come to Jesus with us and being like, listen, guys, it takes like 10 years for bands to break. And we're just like, no, we don't have that kind of time. La, 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 la. So if you look at where we are at on the spectrum, we're primed for megastardom. You heard it here.
Right.
Hey, Dr. Koga said we'll be at 100,000 by Halloween. Maybe we fucking will. Who the fuck knows? You don't know. Right? Or whatever.
Hey, I mean, maybe Freak Show's released. The people are just like, subscribe. You just, you know, anything can happen.
Or it's going to get released and like no one's going to watch it. And we're going to be like, okay, that was still fun.
But we'll still have fun making as good as it gets. So.
Dude, watch her back. We're doing it.
Yeah.
Because I believe in that. That needs to be the continuation. I'm thinking of how it all ties into the universe.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm 100% for that.
Because it's still zombies, but like, let's say the beginning of the apocalypse was Never Look Back. And then 5 years later, we're hardened, you know, and diamond in the rough. 5 years after that, what happens? Everyone's haggard and tired and old. And then now we're out in the cabin in the woods. And now we still got zombies. But now, guess what, motherfucker? We be fighting them.
Yes.
Okay, well, that will happen if we release Watch You Back on the new album.
Yes.
Because otherwise, it's like,
why?
You know, we're putting out a new record. Why are we making videos for old songs? You know?
Yeah, but we're going to put Freak Show and Watch Her Back on the new album.
Oh, both.
Why not? They were just singles. They never were on an album.
Okay.
Well, never mind. We don't have to do any of that.
No. I'm fine with that. I'm fine with all that. I'm fine with padding the new album.
But like, right? So here's what I want to do with the Kickstarter though, is like have that low goal and then be like, hey, listen though, if we hit this much, then we can do a video for this. Because, and what JK noticed about us and what we've known for all these years is that the videos have a lot to do with the band. It's our art. It's our medium. It's like, that's part of the music being as successful as it is. It's like having this visual to go with it that kind of has this horror movie like thing or this, you know, zombie campy kind of thing. Right. So to like really continue to do that, I think can only be fun for us to do. And like I have this crazy vision for this video and I'm just like, I'm making it happen. I don't know how, I don't know why, I don't know when.
I'm all about it. I love that.
And because Josh was so into As Good as It Gets, I'm like, dude, just run with it. Like whenever any of us has like that drive and that like this is what I want to do and that clear vision, that's what we run with. That's what you have to run with. Otherwise it's just convoluted sitting around being like, well, we could do this, we could do that, or like, what should we do? Or like, will this sell? Will this be on the radio? Like all the things that we were saying. And the reality is it never sells. It never gets on the radio. So just make whatever you want.
Yeah.
I mean, it doesn't never sell or never get on the radio because we've been played on the radio and sold a lot of albums and things like of that nature. But man, it's funny like reflecting on that though. Because Steve was right. It's like we compare ourselves to like Foo Fighters. We're not comparing ourselves to like somebody who's actually like there. Like we have big dreams. I'm not ashamed of it.
I think it's good to have big dreams, but we're also happy with writing music together.
My biggest dream is to be janitor number 2 in whatever monster movie that immediately gets torn in half like 30 minutes into the film.
Yes.
That's like I'm not even composing because I want to compose. I'm composing to meet directors so that I've made that deal with every like indie director I've worked with. I'm like, when you get big and you do a monster flick or an alien flick, remember me. I want to be the guy that doesn't have speaking lines. That's just, I'm just there and I'm like, and then the monster tears me to shreds. That is my life goal.
So Doolin says, when you become megastars, don't forget about me. Fly me to a show on your private zombie jet. I think that's a great aspiration.
Now, is it a
Absolutely.
jet painted like zombies, or is it a bunch of zombies flapping their arms real fast, or like together?
I sure hope it's the first one.
It'll be the Zombie One will be the name of the airplane. And it'll be a great day when we sign the papers on that private jet. And we name it the Zombie One.
To be honest, though, I don't even think
Is
that
anybody
just
out
doesn't
here a
sound,
pilot?
That just doesn't sound
Can
nearly
I
dense.
fly a
Like
plane?
that's not our personalities. Like private jet.
No.
I feel like even if we had the Wembley success, I'd still be flying coach. It's like,
Oh yeah.
you
Yeah.
know,
Maybe
here
first
we are.
class.
Maybe
but,
business class. You
business
know,
class.
a little extra leg room.
A little bigger seat. Yeah, that'd
Yeah.
be nice.
Well, should we wrap it up?
Yeah. Oh, we need to do the giveaway.
Oh, well, you did not prepare me for that. I didn't write any names down. Did you write them down?
Nope.
Do you want to write them down real quick? Because
Oh.
you have the piece of art. Do you want to show people while I figure this out?
Oh.
Dun 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 dun. Oh, stop
Alright.
screen sharing.
Oh, you don't want me to show everybody our Patreon?
No, I can't. Oh, there we go. That looks better. Thank you.
Yeah,
All right,
I'll leave
cool.
The meeting over here.
So anybody who joined, I know a lot of you guys did up your pledges and join the Patreon as a producer. So thank you so much for doing that. Let's do a little housekeeping. Seeing as we're at the very end of our stream. This was a lot of fun. Did you have fun, Josh?
I absolutely did. This was a really good time.
What a treat.
I loved hearing the behind the scenes stuff that I didn't know
What a great
about.
audience.
Even though I've been in the band for like 7 years, but
It's like we don't sit and reflect on this stuff like every day.
No, it's
you know?
true.
It's
Honestly,
like fun.
yeah, I was really just joking.
Weirdly, we don't just talk about ourselves all day.
I know, like most people think rock stars do, but we don't.
No, I really want to, I think this would actually be pretty fun to do for some of our other videos. This was kind of fun.
Yeah.
It would be fun to do it for like I Said and Revenge and Diamond in the Rough. That was a fun video to shoot, man. Diamond in the Rough is cool. They were all
Rough
fun.
is awesome. Revenge was a nightmare because of, whoa, I can hear myself. It was a nightmare because of all the dirt. You remember the dirt?
I threw away my boots and everything I wore to that shoot. You're absolutely right. It was
my car, because we my whole drum set had to go in my car. The car was completely, we'll save that for when we review it.
Yeah.
But it was
That'd be
rough.
fun.
I spent a week cleaning my drums, and I took my car to a shop to get it cleaned out because it was like crazy. I paid somebody because it was crazy.
Dude, did the band ever reimburse you for your detailing?
No, I
No,
never.
no.
It's whatever.
We owe you. We owe you
Yeah.
$50 for detailing.
No, you guys helped me like mute my drums. I remember you were taping my cymbals. Somebody was
Yeah.
filling that. Like we all pitched
Hey,
in.
I
was
have a
fine.
photo of me that I used on like a behind the scenes photo that's on all my dating apps of me tuning your drums.
Really?
And people are like, "Are you a drummer?" I'm like, "No, I'm just Josh's."
I'm
dick."
just in
You're
a
just
band.
yeah. You're
You know,
the
when
drum
you go
tech.
on the when you go on the dating site, do you guys lead with like, "Hey, I'm in this band," and we have like, 10 million.
No, I don't
views
even
on
put it
YouTube.
on there.
I
Like,
never say anything about being in a band.
You
no.
guys don't is that like, is it a red flag for like ladies? Or
No, I don't like talking about myself, and I don't like.
yeah,
trying to
I guess
be
it looks
like,
kind of
"Oh,
weird and
I'm-"
braggy. Yeah, it looks
Yeah,
weird.
Well, and
that's it.
two, I kind of want to be that. I want that to be private. I don't want like people creeping and looking up the Nearly Dead stuff or like fans recognize. I don't know.
Oh yeah. Hey
Yeah.
guys, Steve and Josh are available.
Well, I deleted the apps, so I don't have them.
Don't-
yeah,
don't-
I don't have.
Do not find them on Tinder. Anywho, so thank you to
Hinge.
everyone who is members of our Zombie Nation Patreon. We could not continue to exist without you guys. And a lot of you guys that are on there have been supporters of us for the past decade, which is insane. But hey, the years keep coming and they don't stop coming, right? Hey.
Hey, they just got
Hey.
in a big tiff live recently.
Oh yeah.
Oh, did they? Oh, fuck.
But let's just
Yeah.
remember Shrek.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
let's-
anywho,
Rat
it's like
race.
thinking
Rat
about,
race.
oh, it was only it was 10 years ago. It's either like, oh man, like God, I feel so old, but it's like, no, I do feel like this is just like we're on the cusp of like a brand new beginning with the band. Like we're just as enthralled and inspired as ever, and a lot of it has to do with the support of our amazing zombies and fans. This was an unexpected like byproduct of making music, was meeting all of you amazing people, and the way that you guys have shown your support from us the past 10 years. The internet has changed tremendously, and we are a band that has pretty much capitalized on that, and we've done Kickstarters, Indiegogos, Patreon now, and it's just like this way that you guys care to support us and understand how the music business continues to evolve, and that we're very transparent with you on like streaming doesn't equal a lot of money for us. If you're not touring, if you're not selling merch and things like that, you're really not making a ton of money. So to be able to continue to pay for recording time, studio time, and all the things that we do as a band, because of you guys, we couldn't ask for anything more. And we're just entirely so indebted to you guys. And we're just happy that our music means enough to you, that you care enough to support with your hard-earned money and to support us. And from the bottom of our hearts, just a huge thank you to you guys. A decade. Woo! Crazy.
Yeah.
Ugh.
I always forget that not everybody gets sarcasm or whatever, and you're like, I feel like we're at the beginning of something, or like a new beginning. We're on the cusp, and I was gonna be like, yeah, we're on the cusp of a second hiatus. So just like joking. That was like, people aren't gonna get that. That's sarcasm.
Wait a minute. Are we?
No, it's a joke.
Okay.
That's funny.
Okay, so drum roll, Josh. This is for the incredible Frankenstein photo that
So this
you
is
painted.
anybody who's in the producers tiers in our Patreon is going to get a raffle, and I'm going to send this bad boy to you in the mail. It won't probably be there
Yes.
by Halloween, but this is year-round decor.
technically Frankenstein's monster. I always forget that it's drum roll, Josh.
His name's Frankenstein, Steve. No, I'm just joking. Can you hear
All
that?
right. Yes.
Yeah, we can hear it. Sounds really terrible.
The winner is Colby.
Hey, Colby!
Hey.
So
Woo!
Colby Chef.
Dun-dun-dun, dun-dun-dun.
Congratulations.
Dun-dun-dun,
And he
dun-dun-dun.
is a dead executive. So he's up there, high level.
Woo!
Thank you,
Nice.
Colby. And-
Next month there will be another giveaway. And let us
he's
know.
He's also new. He only joined up in September, so thanks for being on board here, Colby.
I just saw in the comments
Ooh.
that Bushcraft, White Wolf Bushcraft, they added, they joined later on because apparently they
Mhm.
didn't get a notification. That's so lame. I'm so sorry. But they paid their buddy a 30-pack for detailing their truck. So we can always just send you some drinks.
Okay.
That's all he wanted. You know what? Like, speaking of that, we paid the people in our video with pizza and beer. We didn't pay anybody anything to be in that video at all.
Yeah.
I think we
That's
maybe
crazy.
gave JK, I was like, after the fact, I was like, I think we should pay him something.
Yeah,
I think we gave him
we
like
tipped him
$300. I think we gave him like a couple $100 and was like, dude, thank you so much. This was so great. And we tipped him. And even then he was like, no. Then the next video, he was like, all right.
All right,
What
these are
a
my
guy.
rates.
These are my rates. Yeah. And he did a lot of he did a blame shift video. He did a throwing gravity video, or
Yeah.
3 pill morning. He's done all kinds of stuff.
He did some videos for some random artist and
Yeah. We helped
Florida
this.
and Alabama.
Yeah. I think we helped his portfolio. It's a pretty big accolade to say, hey, this one video that I did has a couple million views. So
JK has
Yeah.
us to thank for all of his success.
no, dude, it's totally the other way around. Totally. If we had
Right.
I love that you brought up Adam and Darling Parade in that show. It was a local Palooza show. If we hadn't met them and they saw potential in us, I think we would. I don't even know where we would be. I don't know. I don't even know where we would be, because where are we now? Sitting in our living rooms?
I'm in my office.
I'm in my kitchen.
I'm in my bedroom.
Nobody thinks it's an office. There's too many Legos. They're like, you're in your playroom, Steven.
Your toy room.
Your toy room.
I'm gonna go play with toys.
But
again.
just no teamwork, like everything. Just so many great memories of like moving to Nashville, meeting everybody, and it was just like a perfect like. And here we are,
Right.
all these years later, still crazy, crazy amount of views and streams all over the world. And we've been able to tour and play some pretty incredible shows, meet you guys face to face, have you guys support us on Patreon. I just can't. It just makes me emotional, guys.
We'd be killing it in Pittsburgh right now if Josh would finish the drums on that new track.
Shut up, Steve. I had a couple busy weekends. I started on it. I'll get it to you.
Oh,
this
you had
week.
a birthday, blah blah blah.
And then I had an Angels and Airwaves concert.
Hey, I have acoustic, vocals I haven't recorded, and I haven't sat down and started writing on these new songs. But
when I was at Moe's, I listened to it. I hadn't heard it in a while, and I hadn't heard the tune vocals at all, and I was like, this track sounds good. I'm digging it.
Sweet. I'm glad it sounds good. I mean, I know I have harmonies.
Well, it's what you have. Yeah,
harmonies to do. Yeah, I haven't even opened it. I know. I'm a very. No, but I took
DJ's
vacation.
fired.
I took a vacation. Like, I've just been overwhelmed.
We are now, Doolin is now the lead singer of the Nearly Deads.
Hell yes. Oh, man,
School
we
of Doolin.
played, speaking of Doolin, Backyard Barbecue, Warped Tour, Summerfest, Pride Fest. Y'all ever forget Pride Fest? Pride Fest was
That was
kick
fun.
ass.
That was awesome. Yeah.
I loved seeing Andrew McMahon in the woods or whatever.
That was Fashion Meets Music.
Oh, that was a cool show too.
Yeah, no, Pride Fest was Frida,
Big Frida and
Yeah.
Macy
Amazing.
Gray.
And Macy Gray, yeah.
who, by the way, is in Spider-Man 1 during the Macy
Oh,
Gray
yeah.
parade.
Yeah. That's
So,
crazy.
Yeah, because somebody was like, was there ever anybody that you met? I got to meet the lead singer for All American Rejects when we played the Backyard Barbecue. That was somebody I probably looked up to for a long time. Like,
That's
just,
awesome.
Well, we've toured with some cool bands and opened with some cool bands, so we got to meet. And
Mm-hmm.
Hailstorm's always been very cool.
They've been so cool to us. My most surprising band that I was loved was Upon a Burning Body. Like,
Oh yeah.
I
They were
love
awesome.
like my inspirations are like Avril Lavigne and Garbage, and I'm like listening to Upon a Burning Body and be like, this is my shit.
Oh yeah.
These guys are so good, and they were
Yeah.
such nice guys. Like, that
Super chill
surprised me.
dudes.
That
Yeah.
it didn't surprise me that they were nice. It surprised me that we were like
Vibing.
that we like
Yeah.
became friends with them. Like they
weren't
gave
like
us the time of day.
standoffish.
Yeah.
They
Yeah.
were like, who's this weak ass pop punk band?
Yeah,
They
yeah.
all thought we were great. At least they told it to us to our face. They were like,
Yeah.
no,
Yeah.
seriously. And I'm like, okay, well, I have to think to myself, if they didn't actually believe that, they just wouldn't say anything, because that's what I would do.
Yeah.
Right.
Definitely.
I wish I wasn't so shy, because I would have had my most starstruck moment when the second time I went to Chicago to see Mew. I was walking around, I went to go get something and come back to venue, and on my way back, like 3 of the members were hanging outside their tour bus, like out front, and I like wanted so bad to walk up and just be like, you guys are gods amongst men. I just wanted to go up and just, I don't know, say hi and shake their hand, but I chickened out. And then we watched the show, and then my friend Matt, he and his wife had saw them in Seattle or something, and he said he saw them outside and they actually said hi, and he was like, they were really cool. We talked to them for a second. I'm like, damn it I could have said hi, but I didn't.
I don't know if I ever told you guys this, but when Blink first got back together, I went to see them and I had like VIP parking, and I went to like an area, me and my girlfriend at the time, and I saw their tour bus And I went up to their tour bus. I was thinking, it was like, oh, I'm gonna meet Mark, Tom, and Travis. And I like the guy. There was a guy sitting out there because he was talking to girls trying to get in the tour bus. And after they left, I like handed them a demo of like the band, my high school band, and he was like, "Yeah, man, I'll check it out." He probably threw it in the garbage as soon as I left. But yeah,
Joshy.
but I can at least say I got one of my demo CDs on a Blink tour bus. So
Yeah,
that's kind of cool.
yeah, I think you did tell me that. That's pretty funny.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
it was just he was just like, yeah,
for sure.
man.
He was like, oh,
I mean, he was super nice. At least he acted nice. He wasn't like, get out of here, you know. But he had like a Zero shirt on. It was wild.
Nice.
And then I stuck my foot in my mouth on the In This Moment tour because somebody was telling me that one of the guitarists in This Moment really dug Easy Way Out, and because they would watch us while we played, and we didn't talk to them as much, you know, as like Upon a Burning Body. Well, I saw the guitarist hanging outside, and I went and grabbed the demo, walked up to him, and I was like, hey man, I wanted to give you this. I heard you really liked Easy Way Out and this album that's on, and I didn't realize it was the wrong guitarist. I'm like, and he's looking at me like, I don't know what you're talking about. And I'm over here, yeah, you know, it's really cool that you like her music and this and that. And he's just like,
get away from it.
And I'm like, damn it, they both have long hair and look metal.
So one time you know our friend Eric from Lonesome Town Drifters. I've been friends with him forever, and his wife Laura. But he's cool. He's been in tons of bands, Blacklist Royal and stuff. And he knew, I guess, the guys from Off With Their Heads, which is one of my favorite bands. So I did get to meet them backstage at a show. They were opening, I think it was Off With Their Heads, Bayside, and Alkaline Trio on this tour and marathon. And Eric, like, got us all backstage while Alkaline Trio was playing. So I got to sit and watch them from backstage. It was like a fucking dream. Got to meet Off With Their Heads, and like I can't even talk to them. I was just like I always play it cool. Like somebody in the comments asked earlier, like, oh, have you ever gotten to meet anyone in the band, whatever. Like I always was like, if it's somebody I really admire, I can't say anything. Like, I'm just like, hey, nice to meet you. And then, like, shake their hand. And then, like, that's it. Like, I've embarrassed myself too many times to, like, say anything else. And then, like, later that night, we went to Santa's Pub. And there was karaoke. And, like, Dan Adriano was there. And I did Hole. And I sang Celebrity Skin. And he gave me a high five. And I was just like, cool.
That's
and that
awesome.
was enough for me. I was like, I'm all set. I don't need to talk to you and be like, you're my hero. I love your music. I'm in this band. Like, because that's just embarrassing. I could never do that. I could never do that.
When we were in Florida, we went backstage for the Less Than Jake show.
Oh, yeah, because my buddies in the Flatliners, like, always have been playing with them for years. Yeah, same deal. And they were all just like, I thought you loved Less Than Jake. And I was like, I do. I can't say anything to them.
Right.
Because they're, like, super chill guys. And they're all like, why didn't you talk to them? And I'm just like, because I can't, because I can talk to you because I know you and I can't talk to them. I just get embarrassed.
I feel like I talked to them because they were in the room for part of the time, but it was everybody was just talking about like dumb shit. It was like TV shows or something where everybody was just kind of shooting shit.
Yeah, actually, because of the Flatliners got to go backstage at like a bunch of shows. They played with like No Use for a Name with Tony Sly before he passed away. No Effects. Yeah, but that was all before the band. I got to hang out with them, piss them off. we made this joke that we got like arrested, and like it was just a bad joke. Like, don't joke about that ever, guys. Don't joke. Be like, hey, we got arrested. Like we can't make it back to the tour bus right now. Like, click. We were laughing our asses off. Thought we were hilarious. Meanwhile, everyone on the tour starts freaking out and trying to figure out how to fix the situation. And I was just
my God.
Then we showed up and we're like, hey, no, just kidding. And then we're just like, no.
Ooh.
So I was like, oh no, this is really embarrassing. I was like, never again. And it's not like anyone of them would remember me. I wasn't like the person in the band. I was just like a friend of theirs hanging out, you know, with my other girlfriends and stuff, you know, groupies.
Yeah. I do. I do have to mention real quick because I didn't really answer like the starstruck question, but there was Frankie Muniz was the drummer in a band. I think they were
Yeah.
called Kingsfoil.
Yep.
In my old band, we opened for them, and I like got to meet him. And like I have a picture. It's
Nice.
if you go on like my Facebook, I'm sure it's like one of the profile pictures I took with Frankie Muniz because I thought it was awesome. But that was pretty wild. Like I didn't like. I was so nervous. I didn't ask him anything. I wanted to be like, "Hey, you remember Malcolm in the Middle?"
I don't know how. I honestly, I'm like an introvert by nature. Like, I don't know how people can just be like, "Hey, can I get a picture with you?" Or da da da. Like, check out my band. I was like,
Yeah.
"What? Are you not embarrassed to do that?" I would be too embarrassed to do that. Not just like
Yeah.
shy, but like, God, these people have people doing that to them
No,
all
yeah,
day long.
not even.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not gonna do that with famous people because I'm too embarrassed to do that to women. Like I can't even approach a woman and be like, "Hey,
Right.
my name's Steven. Here's my number."
I
If I
can
walked up,
second
it would just
that.
be like, dude." Although I take that back. The only time I've ever done that was when we were at the Roxy and Dr. Quinn was there. I did approach her and I was just like,
Oh
"Hey,
yes,
can
I'll
we get a
never
picture
forget that.
together?" I was like, me and my mom watched Dr. Quinn together, and
That's
so
awesome.
but Doolin said that he was at the show we played with Hailstorm, and Lizzie was standing next to him, and he didn't even really recognize her because he wasn't there to see Hailstorm. He was there to see us, and he didn't realize it until later.
Nice.
Um,
That's awesome.
but yeah, so
This was a lot of
this was
fun,
fun.
guys.
Yeah, this was cool.
This was cool. Thank you guys for joining us on the stream. And we will see you guys next week, I believe. And I
Yeah.
will get this shipped out to Colby. Steve will give me the information. And if you guys want to be included in next month's drawing, make sure you subscribe to the Patreon. It starts at $3 a month, and it means the world to us. And it really helps us. Every single penny helps us continue to make music. Y'all know we're working on stuff always. Here's to another 10 plus years of music, guys. Cheers.
Cheers.